be heard, at least during the game, is by booing, right? Like that kind of stuff. But I'm still like excited to go to a ball game. You know what I mean? So, Connor, I'll ask you, how do you balance enjoyment and entertainment while also having high expectations? Because right now, we have it with the Eagles and Phillies. Even though there are people that do they're not going to win anything. The reason why we're having the conversation is that there are legitimate expectations. And if you read any national reporter that talks about the Phillies, about the Major League Baseball as a whole, the Phillies are a top 5 team for a lot of people. The Eagles, obviously, we have high expectations for. The Sixers, it's the when healthy conversation. The Flyers are in that next stage of their rebuild, which I'm really excited for. But watching a Flyers game is totally different than watching a Phillies game right now because you're not expecting a Stanley Cup, but you're expecting them to be in the NLCS for the Phillies. So I'll ask you, Connor, how do you balance it?
It's much easier with the longer seasons, right? So football, I can't. I struggle with that. And I'm a pretty level-headed person naturally, I think. But with the Eagles, like every game's important. So when you play 17, it does have a lot more pressure, and that can take away from enjoyment. And we see that more, I think, with the football team. But baseball, it's easy. Like, I don't know. They play 162 games. Basketball, hockey, they play 82. It's just like not every game matters, so it's much easier, even if you're thinking about playoffs down the line or a championship run down the line. I like sports, so I can go and I can just be like, oh, that was sick. That was cool.
Yeah.
How nice they won, because it's not life and death every day to me with those teams. So the Eagles, it's tougher, but for the 3 other sports in this town, the main teams.
Now, what's amazing is, and I'll give you your credit, and both of you were like this, you guys were both the patient ones. Now, you're doing it from a journalistic standpoint. Connor, you're doing it from a sports talk radio host, which is semi-journalism.
And then,
and then
he was on an island, pretty much.
And then fandom, right, when it came to the being patient. So you, even though you're saying it's harder in a 17-game season, and it definitely is, you were one of the more patient ones through 4 games.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, my natural default is just kind of like, I like watching sports, and I want the team to win, and I get pissed off if they don't, right? Like, especially with the Eagles or in bigger spots for Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers. Like, you've seen me mad at these teams. So anyone who thinks, like, I can't criticize, that's not what I'm saying. But it's just, I don't know. I show up to the ballpark or the arena or the link. I just want to see something sick, and I want to see the team win and enjoy it. That's it. Enjoyment for sports is the number one thing for me.
So I want people to chime in on this at 610-632-0975. How do you balance enjoyment and entertainment when it comes to expectations? I said it a couple years ago. I think there are some people that allow the high expectations of a season to ruin almost their joy of just watching sports. I mean, how many times have you heard people say, I just want to go back to the process days? Like, no, I don't want to go back to the process days.
That would be terrible.
Like,
the worst thing you could do.
That wasn't fun for me. Unless I was going to the games, which I went to a lot of them, were you really sitting down and watching Isaiah Cannon? Like, you weren't. And that, like, thank you. That takes away from your enjoyment of sports. So coming up next, this is one of these topics where I have all the branches. All right? I got the oak with a lot of good branches. How do you balance, as John Kincade says, knowing the ending? Whether it's a happy ending or downright miserable. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
The Phillies are 34-2 when they have the lead after 6. They're 40-1 when they have the lead after 7, and they're 41-0 when they have the lead after 8. So we talk about the back end of the bullpen, right? So far, they've been okay.
Yeah, it's incredible because of the conversation we have about this bullpen, and you look at the bullpen CRA, I think it was in mid-20s in baseball. It's not great, but somehow, some way, they find a way to get it done.
The Mike Missanelli Show, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Benari Jewelers believes that the engagement ring shopping experience should be enjoyable. No high pressure, no sales tactics.
When I walked into other jewelers, I just felt really pressured to, buy the ring that day. It felt very salesy. Either, the deal was ending today or they couldn't guarantee that the diamond I was looking at would be available tomorrow. Whereas when I went to Benari, it was the exact opposite.
Zach DiCarlo's talking about the Benari experience. Stress-free with the largest selection of hand-picked diamonds. And you'll learn how to discern every detail before buying the ring of her dreams.
I did my research beforehand, but leaving there, I felt like I knew more than, months of research. It really empowered me with all the information possible.
And what did Zach's fiance fiancée Trish think about her Benari diamond?
Oh, absolutely loves it. Stares at it all the time to this day and is absolutely enamored with it.
Mission accomplished. Zach was empowered and Trish is enamored with her diamond. At Benari, we think that's how it should be. Benari Jewelers. Locations in Exton and Newtown Square.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale starts tomorrow with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Making choices in the morning can be a bit much. I just want someone to say sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, sausage and cheese or egg and cheese English muffin, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Get 2 for only $3. At Wendy's, fresh made food means simple choices. Dare we say it's even a little fun? Okay, not like roller coaster fun. There's only so much we can do, people. When you want less thinky and more brekky in the morning, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
This is Philadelphia's station for breaking sports news. Powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is Kincade Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
This hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
That's the voice of John Kincade, who is out today, out this week. I'm not going to see John for 2 weeks because he returns next week when I'm off for the entire week. It's like we did it on purpose.
I hadn't seen either of you in a long time.
I know, it's been a while.
I almost forgot what you look like.
It makes me sad when I don't see you. This is why I enjoy football season, because I get to see you like 6 times a week. It's wonderful.
That's right.
All right, so speaking of John Kincade, if you guys listen to this show on a daily basis, you probably hear John say once a week, depending on the topic of the week. If you want to know the ending, I'll tell you. If you don't want me to spoil it for you, I won't. I'm paraphrasing, but it's around that area. He says that because there's a strong chance the Sixers don't win like an NBA title, right? If the Phillies and their bad approach and their lineup construction does not change come trade deadline 1 month from today, he believes, and I agree, that they are not going to win a World Series. So our topic today, how do you balance enjoyment and entertainment with expectations? When you hear somebody say that, and whether or not you agree, does that impact how you watch a team or how you enjoy or not enjoy a season? Because as much as I like this Phillies team and believe they can win their division and will win their division, because I don't think this Mets pitching staff can hold up, and they just had a pretty crappy weekend against the Pittsburgh Pirates, which we'll talk about. When you think you know the ending of the story, and it's not a good one, does that impact the way you watch?
I don't think, not for me, because I try to enjoy sports. Sports are a diversion from everything else that's going on outside. You can just kind of, fixate on what's there and try to find some sort of a positive spin, and just, whether you're with friends, whether you're with family, whether you're watching it by yourself. But there's also the other part of it, right? Because stories and movies have twists,
right?
And you hope that you see these twists, and that could be in the form of players really elevating their performance.
I thought I knew the ending of 2017-18.
Right.
The second Carson Wentz got hurt, I thought I knew the ending. And that ending was losing in the first round of the playoffs.
And so when you keep that in mind, that twist, the hopefulness should give you that, let me watch it, let me see it through to the end, because you don't know what could be on the other side of that door.
Yeah, and the one thing for me, and Connor, I want you to talk about this as well, because now you're a vibes guy. You just like ball. You just like sports.
It's supposed to be fun, isn't it?
It should be, right? I bring this game up often. Well, a couple of games that I can bring up. To your point, Andrew, just watching a game with friends or family, I went to a random Wednesday night Phillies game with two of my best friends. Two of my best friends that I used to go to games as when we were kids. My dad would bring up. It was awesome, right? Michael Lorenzen throws a no-hitter that night. We didn't go to the game like, man, really hope we see a no-hitter today. It's the twist of just life. Now, did that impact the season moving forward in any way? Absolutely it did not. Right? Like, if anything, it impacted them negatively because Lorenzen threw like 140 pitches, and it was bad after that. Another example. I went to see Victor Wembanyama when he came here with the Spurs. Like, I wanted to see Wemby. Even though I'm a Sixers fan, I went to the game to see Wemby. Joel Embiid dropped 70 points that night.
That was the night?
That was the night. I went to see Wemby. I went to root for the Sixers, but I went to see Wemby. I watched Joel Embiid drop 70 that night. Like, to me, that's the beauty of sports. And, oh, well, he's going to get hurt one day anyway in a couple of weeks. That's not what's on my mind.
That's a tough way to live with that kind of mindset every day.
Bro, I was on the next day. And I just celebrated the 70-point night. And my first caller, I forget his name. My first caller, this is also when I was working with Ray. Well, what does it matter? He's going to be hurt come playoff time. And I'm like, really?
You didn't have any enjoyment in that.
There are people that expectations or knowing the ending, going back to what we were talking about this segment, that it almost hurts their enjoyment for sports. And that bums me out for people.
But that's why movies are, there's some movies that are dramas, thrillers, suspense, and there's oftentimes twists with that. So you don't always know the ending.
No, you don't always know the ending. But even if you do know the ending, can't you enjoy the middle of the plot in the middle of the movie?
You should. That's the point.
Like, we don't see people drop 70. We don't see people throwing no-hitters often, right? Like, but if you're thinking, oh, man, well, what does it matter? They're going to lose in the playoffs. Why? Like, I can't live that way. And there are people that live that way.
Yeah, and some almost are just bracing themselves for that.
Yeah.
And not allowing themselves to really be free and enjoy the season. It just seems like their guard is up because of what they see in the past. But it's such a long season that, if you kind of just wish it away, there's going to be a longing for baseball in this case.
Yeah.
For a long period of time.
And you're going to miss moments. But it all comes back down to the expectations. Like, people still bring up the Bryce Harper grand slam against the Cubs, his first year. Why? Because there was no expectations. Like, that was just fun. That was a nice little moment in a season where you're starting to see growth. Now that there's World Series expectations or Super Bowl expectations or NBA second-round expectations, I don't think people enjoy it that much. And that bums me out. So coming up next, we'll react to the Phillies, their weekend with the Braves. They won another series after a pretty tough one against the Astros. We'll talk about that and what else happened in the NL East this weekend to make you feel pretty damn good. You can climb in on this conversation about enjoyment and entertainment and how you balance it with expectations at 610-632-0975. It is Kincade and Salciunas. Andrew DiCecco in for Johnny today here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils take 2 of 3. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies, they won their series down in Atlanta over the Braves over the weekend. Ranger Suarez was dominant once again yesterday in the series finale. His ERA is down to 2 even. He's been chucking lately. The Phils now hold a 1.5-game lead in the NL East as the Mets got swept by the Pirates in embarrassing fashion over the weekend. The Phils have another tough opponent in a series tonight back home at the bank. Game 1 against the San Diego Padres is at 6:35 p.m. A little bit earlier tonight. Zach Wheeler faces off against Matt Waldron. Waldron making his season debut on the mound for the Padres. The Flyers made 9 selections over the weekend in the NHL draft, including winger Porter Martone and center Jack Nesbitt in the first round. We'll keep you updated as their offseason continues. In some Sixers roster news, Kelly Oubre picked up his player option for this year at $8.4 million. Eric Gordon declined his, and the team also declined Lonnie Walker, the 4th team option. So some moves there for the Sixers as the roster starts to take shape post-draft. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia Sports.
Touchdown! Saquon Barkley! Into the second deck, Bryce Harper! Shoots! He scores! That gave Beachcomb the magic man! Mike Jackson! Philly. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys.
The best fans. The best sports talk is right here. 97.5, The Fanatic.
It's time for patio parties, backyard barbecues, and porch swings. But is your home ready? Our preferred pros can help turn your home into a summer oasis. From backyard decks to AC tune-ups and roof repairs, our preferred pros are ready to tackle all your home care needs. Call Preferred Pros today.
Clogged drains, leaking sinks, no hot water? Ace Hardware Home Services has got you covered. Schedule fast expert plumbing service at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Metropolitan Veterinary Associates is proud to be the largest privately owned hospital in our region, offering specialty and emergency care for your dogs and cats 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Great Railing in Williamstown is now the largest Trex dealer in the United States and has Trex on sale from $1.89 per foot. GreatRailing.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Quiet down, here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best, not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Mike Missanelli and Ray Dunn. They have a lot to say about Philadelphia sports. The big stories you want to hear about. The Mike Missanelli Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic at 97.5thefanatic.com. This is Kincade and Salciunas. Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 6:25 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll check our text line a little bit later here in the 6 o'clock hour at 610-632-0975. How do you balance enjoyment and entertainment with sports while also having high expectations? I think it's tough for some people to do that, and I get it because I love the Phillies. I love watching baseball. I hate watching bad baseball, and I get that a lot with this baseball team. But they took 2 of 3 against the Braves this weekend. So let's react a little bit to the series that went down. Ranger Suarez, again, yesterday, just continues to dazzle. 7 innings, just 4 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, allows just 1 earned run. And then the Phillies eventually take the lead in the top of the 5th inning. Otto Kemp had the big double. Trey Turner knocks him in. So the Phils win 2-1. They take 2 of 3 against the Braves. And that's a good series. I know the Braves record-wise are 7 games under 500 now, right? They're 38-45. I understand record-wise it's not all that great. But Spencer Strider's been pitching a lot better as of late, and you beat him again. yesterday. Game one, after having a horrible series against the Astros, you unleash for 13 runs. Like, that kind of stuff is therapeutic, not just for a fan, but also, I believe, for the ball club. Obviously, you score 13 runs in game one. Everybody knows what's happening in game two. You're barely going to do anything, but they win the series. And you look at the Astros series, yeah, that sucked, but you took 2 of 3 against the Mets. You took 3 of 4 against the Marlins. You swept the Blue Jays. You took 2 of 3 against the Cubs. It's been a good stretch for the Phillies recently.
Yeah, it's encouraging, Andrew, because you want to see how they're going to respond. And I think if you're a Phillies fan, you have to feel pretty good about it. If there's one thing that I've learned about this Phillies team, it's that they are a resilient bunch.
Yeah.
And there's going to be the peaks and valleys. That's the nature of this lineup.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the offensive onslaught on Friday night. Then you saw it take a dip. And we all knew that was coming on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest takeaway over the past week is that they have a tendency to waste really good starting pitching, and to avoid the same ending that we've seen, they have to get more of a collective effort at the plate, and we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But how about Ranger Suarez?
Jeez,
a 1.19 ERA over his last 10 games. He's won 7 or more innings over his last 5 starts.
10 straight quality starts now?
Yes, it is.
10 straight. I was listening to the Phillies broadcast yesterday. If he did it, it's the random numbers they find. If he was able to do it, which he did again yesterday, it would have been the first time since Cole Hamels and Cliff Lee, as a left-handed pitcher, have done that since 2013.
He's been their best pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they have Zach Wheeler going tonight, so they have a chance to kind of build on this momentum.
Absolutely. Now, and this goes back to the Ranger Suarez conversation about whether or not he's your Game 2 starter. And, again, this is something that's going to be fluid. Answers could change in July and August and September. Let's see if he keeps his health right, because, remember, he had the back issues last year. But Ranger Suarez is pitching so well, he should be your Game 2 starter. And then, obviously, people are going to lose their minds when he gets the big payday and he probably goes elsewhere, which I get. But what were you going to do? You know, I was thinking about this morning driving in, like the Aaron Nola conversation. There's the promo running for Unfiltered with Bill and Ricky.
Right.
And it's about whether or not you pay athletes for what they've accomplished versus what you expect them to accomplish. I don't think anybody was expecting Aaron Nola's fall off to happen this early on in the contract. I think we all expected it at some point.
We also don't know if this is Aaron Nola's fall off. All
right. You're right.
Let's slow down a little bit on that.
He could just be hurt, and maybe that's why he was struggling as much as he was early in the season. I don't know. The velocity was terrifying.
Yes.
Like, that scares me, and guys don't normally get better with age. Like, in terms of
I don't think he's going to turn into, like, top 3 Cy Young guy again.
Right.
But we just haven't seen him throw healthily, maybe.
Right.
This year.
By the way, we hadn't seen that with Ranger Suarez, really.
Exactly.
Right? Like, he might pitch really well, and then eventually his body gives in, and that's the scary thing with Ranger Suarez, and that's why they don't pay him or did not pay him, and now you might get hurt by that because he's going to get paid a lot this offseason if he continues to pitch this way.
Yeah, you pay players, ideally for what you expect them to do in
Correct.
the future. If you pay them for what they've done in the past, that's where teams tend to run into issues.
Right. But I also get where that conversation is coming from, because if they did it before, you might think, all right, they can continue to do this. But Aaron Nola's thrown a lot of innings. Ranger Suarez is not. And that's why people were questioning the decision to extend Aaron Nola at the time. I think there's a lot of revisionist history going on.
There's a lot.
I think when they first extended him, people were thrilled. I could still see him. What was it? The Diamondbacks start, where it was the bad start. You saw him emotional in the dugout because a lot of people thought it was the last one. But they ended up re-signing him. And at the time, I was in favor of it. You need innings eaters that can also keep you in games. It's not like he's Taijuan Walker going out there throwing 6 innings and giving up 5 earned runs.
I was in favor of the signing, but I also was, sort of cognizant of the fact that, there could be a little bit of a drop-off here. They're committing to him for an extended period of time. And you see the advanced age and the velocity and all that. That factored into my decision and into my thought process.
And obviously this year was not a fun start for Nola. All right, and so the Phillies, not only did they take 2 of 3 over the Braves this weekend, the New York Mets, it's amazing. They just got swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Remember when the Phillies got swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates not that long ago?
Oh, yeah. That's when the season ended.
Earlier this month. It was horrible. And everybody that was angry with the Phillies during those 3 games had every right to be angry. But there were people that acted like this was out of the ordinary and good teams don't do this and blah, 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 blah. It happens. And I know people don't like hearing that. John doesn't like hearing it at times, that this happens. So the Phillies in those games where they got swept by the Pirates, not that this should make you feel any better. They lost 5-4, 2-1, 2-1. A lot worse for the Mets this weekend.
They got belt to ass this weekend.
9-1 on Friday, 9-2 on Saturday, 12-1 yesterday. So when I hear stuff like good teams don't lose to bad teams or good teams don't lose by X amount of runs in a series, then you must tell me that the Mets are not a good team either.
Right. The same thing has to apply to the Mets in this situation.
Like they stink. The Mets stink. They have no chance of winning.
Which, if you want to call in or text in and say the Mets stink today, feel free.
Well, because I do feel that way. I don't believe that they are. I don't believe that they win this division. I believe since the beginning. Exactly. They don't have the pitching for it. Griffin Canning getting hurt is a big loss for them. That's not something that we factored in going into the season. I just thought that their starting pitching would not be able to hold up. But if I hear stuff like, oh, the Phillies stink or good teams, then the Mets stink.
Then everybody stinks. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just kind of the nature of playing 162. Now, what do you guys think? Good series this weekend down in Atlanta? Like, I don't know if it was just that it was prime time on Saturday and the Romano thing giving up the Grand Slam makes it hurt more. But I don't know. I thought that was a solid weekend for the Phils. Good bounce back.
My opinion has not changed. 2 of 3 is better than losing 2 of 3 or getting swept, right? So they take 2 of 3. That's awesome. Winning is important, even in June, because you're trying to build a lead in the NL East. You now have a 1.5 lead. I want to be the division winner. I want to have a better seeding when it comes to the playoffs. However, does the bullpen still stink? Yes. Do I believe they still need right-handed pop? Yes. Do I still believe Max Kepler needs to zip it? Absolutely. Are there a lot of flaws with this baseball team? Absolutely. Do they have the chance to improve this baseball team in the next month? Dave Dombrowski does. As of right now, regardless of how this weekend went, regardless of how the weekend against the Pirates went, the Phillies are the division favorites for me. I believe they win the division. I don't believe they are currently constructed good enough to win the World Series.
Yeah, I think that's a good series win. You take 2 of 3 there, and there were some prominent takeaways for me. Obviously, you know the starting pitching is going to deliver.
Absolutely.
But you see the growth of someone like an Otto Kemp. You kind of learn a little bit more about Max Kepler now that he's getting a little bit more opportunities. You see what they're able to do when everyone's getting, participating collectively.
Yeah.
In terms of their offensively. But I think you also see the Jekyll and Hyde nature of the team. And that's not going to go away unless the Phillies address it.
Right, and that goes back to the knowing the ending conversation.
But and that kind of ties into the previous series where it's like it was just one series. It's like, no, this is something that is a legitimate blemish.
Yeah.
And if they don't address it, it's going to affect how how things go in the fall.
Absolutely. And they have a month to try to accomplish that. All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line for the first time this morning. How do you balance enjoyment and entertainment of just watching your favorite teams play? As much as we rip them, we love them, while also having these expectations, because I know it brings people down a little bit. You can text in at 610-632-0975. Also, quick recap of the NHL draft. I love what the Flyers have been doing, not just in recent weeks, in recent years, because it was a plan that I was told was going to happen, and it is. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you. So text us at 610-632-0975.
You text every day, so why not text us?
Your opinion matters. Shoot us a text at 610-632-0975.
Don't want to call? You can always text us.
You've got our direct line, so text us anytime.
On a plane? Text us. On a train? Text us.
At the game? Text us.
Driving a car? Yeah, pull over then text us. In a bar? Text us.
610-632-0975.
800-522-0975.
97.5 The Fanatic.
It's a fact, Jack. Gary Barbera is back with his big Auto-Palooza. Get ready, Freddie. Employee pricing plus 0% financing back at Barbera. You don't love it? Bring it back. Dan Stan, that's the plan from the man. Philly, South Jersey, I'm talking to you. Are you listening? We're ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. You don't love your new deeply discounted Dodge, Chrysler, or cheap Jeep? Bring it back to Barbera. Hank, take it to the bank. Lee, can you see? Get your butt to Gary Barbera's #1 Chrysler land, #1 Jeep land, Borbeck and the Boulevard in the great Northeast. Low employee pricing, 0% financing. You don't love your new car? Bring it back. During our big Auto-Palooza, is Barbera the best? Hey, Les. Boy, I guess.
Plus tax eggs and 422 doc fees on approved credit with proper down payment. Call or click 1-800-Barbera.com for details.
Coach Sirianni, is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess. Go Birds!
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. T&Cs apply.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Philly Sports Tonight. Discussion on the big stories we've been talking about all day. Coming up tonight at 6 on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Wherever you are, the Kincade and Salciunas show is accessible. Did you know you can watch the show on YouTube right now?
You can listen to the show anywhere via 97.5thefanatic.com.
If you missed a show, then listen to the on-demand podcast or watch on YouTube.
And of course, we are live weekday mornings 6 to 10 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 6:40 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning, except for like the 5 minutes on the highway when I was driving in when there was a torrential downpour. I don't know if you guys got it PA side.
Oh, I didn't get any.
Lightning, like it was a lightning show. You know how loud the thunder must be when you can hear it in your car over the air conditioning and the music? I swear the lightning was right above me. All of a sudden I just heard the loud crack. It was a crazy ride for like 5 minutes and then it was just done.
Yeah, no, I didn't get anything.
Other than that,
when was that, this morning?
Yeah, driving in Jersey side.
I saw like a light flash at one point.
It was nuts. For like 5 minutes, I had the windshield wipers going as fast as they could.
Wow.
People had the flashers on, and then you just drove in the dryness.
We're Florida now.
It was crazy. All right, we'll check our text line here momentarily, but real quick recap of the NHL draft over the weekend. So a few years ago when Jonesy got hired with the Philadelphia Flyers, I had him on the show, and we just sort of talked about his vision, right, about what he wanted to do for the Flyers. And I love that what he told us on the air has kind of been exactly what they have been doing. Now, the only thing, and I got to give him credit for it, is there have been some wrinkles. There have been some bumps in the road. So when Jonesy first came on, he talked about how he wanted to build from the blue line. He wanted to build with defensive players, but defensive players that could do it all. Guys that could also score, shoot the puck from the blue line and get it in net, because the Flyers' offensive game over the years has been disappointing. And obviously the last couple of years has been rebuilding, so it's not like you've been expecting them to really win. But I'm even talking about beforehand when guys like Andrew McDonald were on this team, right? Like, and Chuck Fletcher was paying all this money for just bad players. They wanted to build, and they wanted to start fresh. We have seen them be very patient. They draft Michkov a few years ago, knowing that it might take some time before he comes over here. He comes here 2 years earlier, and I love seeing what we saw out of him last year. But they built from the blue line. They got who they believe is their franchise-changing player in Michkov, and now the plan is to build around him. And yes, this weekend, they took 2 first-round picks. Obviously, they traded up to get Nesbitt, which I know was a controversial decision for people that are that deep in the weeds of hockey. Full disclosure, I'm not. I get a guy, I reacted to the Edgecombe pick the other day for the Fanatics Instagram, and some guy responds with, "Can't wait to get your analysis for the Flyers." It's like, I'm sorry, I watched Baylor basketball. I'm not necessarily.
You're not faking it.
I'm not necessarily watching Canadian juniors and Russian juniors. Like, I'm not.
You should say, where's your scouting report?
I'm not really doing that all that much. But what I can base my opinion off of is what the Flyers told me they were going to do, and they've stuck with it. The previous regime with Chuck Fletcher, there was no plan. The plan was, let's just keep on paying for these bad hockey players. And they did that. So that was their plan. It sucked. I like what the Flyers are doing, and I thought that was another good weekend. You took 4 second-round players, like the stockpiling of draft picks that they have been able to accomplish over the last couple of years, and then get aggressive in the first round, trading up for Nesbitt, because that was the guy that they thought would be best for this team. I like what I'm seeing out of the Flyers. In the early stages of a rebuild still. I'm not expecting some big splash. John's been telling us, Connor, I know you're starting to get a little itchy over there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Why?
Might be a sunburn. No, I don't know, man. Like, this is a year where I want to see a step, right? I don't want this to. It may be process type thing, where part of the issue with the way that the Sixers were in their rebuild, and that's the most recent, true rebuild in Philadelphia. It felt like it was going to go on in perpetuity, right? And I do want to see the team get more aggressive, the Flyers, right? I don't know if the fan base is ready for that. I don't know if people are comfortable, because we talked about this of just like, hey, are you okay with living in a rebuild because the expectations are lower? But I want to see them push in a little bit more, not make huge signings or anything.
I will say that I think people are itching for it. Maybe not the pushing for a big signing, but I think people are itching for Flyers hockey to be back on the map. I mean, the Hard Rock draft party that we had, it was sold out.
Oh yeah,
it was like people were ready for this.
Yeah, they did it the right way. By the way, I mean, that's an incredible broadcast. But I also, I mean, the way the NHL really tries to put the draft at the forefront there and expose the game, to a broader audience. But I think, to your guys' point, you should be really encouraged with the youth movement. And I know it's going to be a gradual process, but it seems like Danny Briere has things trending in the right direction, and they have a plan for these young players, at least seemingly.
Right.
With Michkov, they didn't rush him into it. They have a development plan for him, and you heard what they had to say about Porter Martone. They're not going to rush him into a role that he's not ready for, and I think because of that, they have the young talent, but now there's sort of a process here with getting them ready.
Which is why I'm still fine with them taking their time a little bit.
Yeah, but Martone is a guy who could be NHL ready quickly, and that's more what I'm talking about. I'm not saying trade everybody, go all in on one veteran player or something, but I don't want guys that are going to be in the minors for 3-4 years. Right at the top. You have to start looking at it more in the immediacy, more than they have the past 2 years, and I think they're doing that.
And here's the deal: you got to give them a lot of credit, because they dealt with the Cutter Gauthier situation from a few years ago. He is a rat. Horrible human being, Carter Hart. That was a major bump in the road.
Yeah.
You thought, you had a plan. Hey, we're going to build from the blue line. We're going to get our, franchise-changing player, Matvei Michkov. Good thing we already have the goalie situation taken care of. And then they don't, because he's a horrible human being. and he's no longer in the NHL. And now you're kind of dealing with the Sam Ursons of the world, just hoping that he can keep you afloat until you eventually get a goaltender. And we'll get there when we get there. But I like what this Flyers team is doing. I like the direction they're going. And I like that they told us a plan that they were going to have 2 years ago when they got hired, both Keith Jones and Danny Briere. And they've stuck with that plan. I appreciate that. All right, what do we got on the text line about our conversation about fandom and how we enjoy sports but balance that with expectations?
This person's trying to do that. It seems like an internal fight a little bit. No name on this text, but they say, is this Phillies team one of the more bipolar teams we've had? Every other series, it feels like an up or a down.
Yes, it is.
Box of chocolates.
And you know why it's up and down? Because the Phillies are a good baseball team with incredible pitching, right? We watched them get swept by the Astros when the starting pitching allowed 3 earned runs. The starting pitching. The bullpen allowed 2. The starting pitching allowed 3 earned runs in 3 games, and they lost all 3. And then you can get hot because that's what baseball teams do. But when your lineup has guys like Otto Kemp, even though he had the big hit yesterday, playing on a consistent basis, Brandon Marsh or Johan Rojas, Bryson Stott, like there are holes on this offense. They're Major League Baseball players, so they will go on a nice stretch. But then there's some pretty horrible stretches too because they might not be as good as what other teams may have.
And that's what I mean by the lineup. The makeup of the lineup doesn't work for the long term because you have players that are such high variance and feast or famine a lot of times. Yeah. So I think the way that it has been constructed, it's not ideal. The Phillies have been able to overcome that largely with their starting pitching, but obviously there has to be some alterations here for them to reach their ultimate destination.
Yeah. And that's why, again, last week, after the Astros, the first game, we had a guy that tweeted me and John, and he said this is why you should not be buyers because this was not even after getting swept after game 1. And I was like, well, you know what? If my starting pitching can keep the Astros to like 2 runs, I want to be buyers at the deadline because I need bats.
Yes.
This starting pitching staff is too good to let go to waste.
If you're not the best team at the deadline, you shouldn't trade for anybody.
Yeah, sure.
That's how that works.
Coming up next, we'll reset today's topics in case you're just tuning in. We'll get to some more text messages at 610-632-0975. Also, we have to talk about it. For content, I want it. For this team, probably best not to do it. It's Kincade Salciunas, Andrew DeCecco in for Johnny here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Ranger dazzles again. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Braves down in Atlanta over the weekend, and Ranger Suarez was dominant once again yesterday in the series finale. His ERA is now down to 2 even, a 10th straight quality start for him. He's been awesome. The Phillies hold a 1.5-game lead in the NL East as the Mets got swept by the Pirates over the weekend. That would never happen to our Phils, right? They've got another tough opponent, the Phillies do, in a series tonight back home at Citizens Bank Park. Game 1 against the San Diego Padres is at 6:35 p.m. this evening. Zach Wheeler's on the mound against Matt Waldron, who's making his season debut for the Padres. The Flyers made 9 selections over the weekend in the NHL draft, including winger Porter Martone and center Jack Nesbitt in the first round. We'll keep you updated as their offseason continues. And Sixers roster news, Kelly Oubre picked up his player option for $8.4 million for the upcoming season. Eric Gordon declined his, and the team declined Lonnie Walker, the 4th team option. So a couple changes to the roster there. The Union lost to the Columbus Crew 1-0 yesterday. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's, and right now you'll find the latest summer styles, all for under $25 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting, the easiest and most convenient way to communicate.
Texting, when you want to be heard, but not be heard.
Texting, when the Birds win big, but you're way too excited to talk.
Texting, when you're too shy to talk to Mike Miss or any of the other Fanatic hosts.
Texting, when you're frustrated after a loss and are afraid you might throw out a or a
Texting, when the phone lines are full and you have to get your point across now.
There are many reasons to text us here at 97.5 The Fanatic. No matter what it is, we want to hear from you.
610-632-0975.
97.5 The Fanatic. It's time for patio parties, backyard barbecues, and porch swings. But is your home ready? Our preferred pros can help turn your home into a summer oasis. From backyard decks to AC tune-ups and roof repairs, our preferred pros are ready to tackle all your home care needs. Call Preferred Pros today.
Clogged drains, leaking sinks, no hot water? Ace Hardware Home Services has got you covered. Schedule fast expert plumbing service at AceHardwareHomeServices.com.
At Gerhardt's Appliances, you can design your dream kitchen on any budget. Shop local and save big at Gerhardt's. Find a local showroom or shop online at Gerhardt'sAppliance.com.
Volpe Enterprises. It's time to make your windows remarkable and affordable. Call Volpe Enterprises at 855-GO-VOLPE or visit online at GoVolpe.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Did you know accidents are the #1 leading cause of death and injury for children? Swimming pools, toys and bicycles, even school backpacks need your supervision. Do you know first aid? Have you practiced a fire drill? Your family's safety begins with you.
The Fanatic is part of the Beasley Best community of caring. For more information on how you can help promote family safety, visit 975thefanatic.com/caring. That's 975thefanatic.com/caring. Hey, this is Andrew Salciunas.
I'm John Kincade. This is Mike Missanelli. Ricky Batalico here.
We've done some great work with businesses across the Delaware Valley.
Companies like Landis Block, Waste Management's Bagster, and Comcast Business. We only endorse businesses and products that we truly use and value. Think about the impact of hearing Fanatic personalities talking about your organization and driving customers to your company.
Go to 975thefanatic.com/advertise to learn more about how the Fanatic can help you market your products and services. This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 6:54 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew Pacheco in for Johnny the K today. Johnny out all week, but Andrew is filling in for John today, and then Connor will be filling in the rest of the week, right? Is that how the schedule's breaking out?
I don't know if I feel like it.
Connor, it's you and me on Friday.
Yes,
I know that for sure.
July 4th, I'm celebrating the US of A that day. All right?
Have fun.
Some of us have pride for this country. Come on, man.
Some of us have pride for this show.
Yeah. Connor and I are doing the yeoman's work in the morning, and then we're going to enjoy the holiday.
Damn right you guys are. All right, so here's where we started today's show. How do you balance your enjoyment or entertainment while also having high expectations? I made the statement a few years ago that I believe a lot of people have their high expectations impact their enjoyment of a season because you're watching for what could be the cracks in the armor. Because that's what we do naturally as humans. I think as humans, when you're trying to plan a trip, sometimes people think about what could go wrong instead of how much fun we could have.
Like, why should I go to the Bahamas? It might rain.
It might rain. There are people that, man, do I really want to go to this party? What if there's nobody there that I like? Instead of, man, I could have a good time. There are people that will watch a season if they have high expectations, and instead of saying, this is why we're World Series contenders, this is why we're not World Series contenders. When I had the interaction with the man Nathan on social media last week that he does not want to make moves at the deadline because this lineup is not good enough. To me, maybe it's the glass half full, glass half empty conversation. I see 5 legitimate starting pitchers, and I only need to use 3 of them in the first round, 4 of them in the second round. I see these pitchers pitching out of their mind. Why waste it?
Right, and he says the lineup's not good, but you have the opportunity to make it better, to improve it. That should make you excited because you don't know what's around the corner. There's still some time here for the Phillies to be able to make some alterations, and I think that should keep you intrigued.
It absolutely should. But there are some people that deal with the pain and the struggles of a long season a little bit differently than others. And the ebbs and flows of a season where we're sky high when they're winning, and then you want to trade everybody when they're losing and fire Dombrowski and fire. How many times has Rob Thompson been fired this year?
7, 12. Maybe 8.
It's unbelievable, but that's how people follow sports. So how do you balance enjoyment and entertainment with your expectations? You can climb in at 610-632-0975. I have other topics to get into based off of that, other branches. But what do we have on the text line about that? And then we're going to get into something that will lead to another branch of this oak tree of topics.
We actually have something even better, which I solicited earlier on in the show. We have a text here that just says, the Mets suck trash truck juice. Go Phillies. Mets are done. That's from Matt from Lansdowne.
I agree with that. I agree with that
Not
sentiment
that the Mets are
Matt.
done, but that they do suck trash truck juice. Yes.
I agree with that sentiment. But again,
dumpster juice.
If the Phillies get swept by the Pirates and we say that the Phillies aren't going to win anything because they get swept by the Pirates, then you have to say the same thing about the Mets. Because the Mets got swept by the Pirates by a lot more runs. I'm not trying to wipe away what happened with the Phillies a few weekends ago with the Pirates. Like, that sucked. But a lot of people got to a determination that the Phillies are done. And there's no point. What's the point? Well, then what's the point for the Mets? Because they just got swept.
Yeah, they're guarding themselves. They're protecting against the potential that the team falls short. And I think that's a tough way to look at it. I approach each and every game for the Phillies, for the Flyers, for the Sixers, eyes wide open.
Yeah.
While still being mindful of their shortcomings, but you have to enjoy it. I think because you only get so many months to enjoy it before you have to wait until the season rolls back around. I think you have to maximize those opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. So how do you balance enjoyment and entertainment with expectations? You can climb in at 610-632-0975. Now, there's something else to bring up. And it's just another summer. It's about damn time. When it comes to the NBA. A weird report yesterday about that man who you just heard, LeBron James. So LeBron James, as you can imagine, why wouldn't you pick it up? Picked up his player option, which is worth $52.6 million.
Is that all?
My God. $52.6 million. He picked up that option. So everyone was just expecting that to happen. What we were not expecting was the out of nowhere quote from Rich Paul in the story from Shams Charania. Quote, LeBron knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. The rest of the story was about how a trade could work or when a trade. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. We're talking about how this guy could potentially be on the move. Now, we had the exact same conversation last year. And remember, I talked about Bronny for Bron, right? Sign LeBron James with the guarantee that you're picking up Bronny James. And I would have done it because I still think that guy can still play. Clearly, LeBron James can still play.
Yeah.
Now, as a team builder, I don't know how good he is at being LeBron the GM, right? It's not necessarily worked recently with the LA Lakers, and I don't think LeBron the GM got Luka Doncic. I think Adam Silver got Luka Doncic to the Lakers because there's something else to talk about later on the show with that trade. But LeBron James could potentially be on the move again. Now, normally, Andrew, I'd be all for it. I can't do this song and dance again. I just can't. And if you are trying to build for the future, and I believe a VJ Edgecombe selection is a clear indication of that, like Ace Bailey was the here and now player. VJ Edgecombe is a guy that here and now fits his style of play with this Sixers team, but you're giving him time to grow. You're not going to throw him right into the fire and say, go ahead, we need you to take 20 shots a game and average, 18 points in your rookie season. You're not asking that out of VJ Edgecombe. As much as I would love to see it, I don't think it's in the best interest of the team to do it this year. Or ever at this point.
No, I mean, what does that get you? Let's say, he were to join. I mean, you're taking away opportunities from younger players. You're sort of establishing a young nucleus of players. VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, McCain. I mean, there's a lot of young players there, and I don't know that. I mean, they're obviously not equipped to probably not equipped to make a deep run in the playoffs. So what does LeBron give you other than a mentor,
right?
And somebody who may even help improve the culture more? I wouldn't do it.
Now, the one thing that I will do, let's say LeBron James was legitimately on the table with the Sixers. Again, we don't know if he's legitimately on the table. But that was from his agent, Rich Paul. Like, they're going to keep an eye on what the Lakers do this offseason. Here's the report. They're going to keep an eye on what the Lakers do this offseason because LeBron wants to win. Now, I find it funny that you're going to take your $52.6 million player option. If you really wanted to win, you would opt out, take lesser money. The Lakers then can use that money in free agency. So, like, to me, it's all right, you want the best chance to win, but you're not going to really help the team that you're with unless he thinks if I get moved somewhere, I'll be in a better situation. The best thing if LeBron James comes to the Sixers would be Paul George is in this trade because the money works this way. Paul George, it would have to be more players as well because, again, $52.6 million, it's a lot of money. You'd have to make the money work. But in terms of the max slots, that makes it work. You could trade Paul George to the Lakers. But do the Lakers want Paul George? They're going to probably want to get younger and build around Luka Doncic. I don't know how much Paul George helps in terms of that, in terms of getting younger. But if for some reason, because I know Paul George wants to play in LA, he wants to be out west, and if they try to do right by LeBron James, because, again, the report also stated they want to try to do right by him. That's how this league works, especially when you have powerful agents like Rich Paul. Maybe that's a situation. I doubt it, which is why I'm not going to spend too much energy on it. But that's the one thing I would do is, okay, I got 1 year LeBron in a Sixers uniform. That would be cool to see. And Paul George is off the books. But it would be for 1 year.
Well, yeah, I really like the possibility of moving off of Paul George. If they're able to find a way to make that work some way, somehow. He played in 41 games for the Sixers last season, didn't look overly interested.
Yeah.
It's another year older, and you worry about the injury history. But I still don't know if it would align, if the stars would align for LeBron to even come to Philadelphia, and really what the benefit of that would be. We would get to see an all-time player in this city.
The benefit is my entertainment.
And he's still good, but it's just like
good.
It's not going to happen. We know. I saw LeBron at the Belmont Wawa this morning when I was pulling in. He told me, it's not happening this time.
Yeah, I saw him pulling out of there too.
This is very mature of you, though, Andrew, because you're normally a bring me Bron, get Bron on the Sixers guy, and we've taken a step, I think, today in your mental growth. I'm very proud of you.
We're proud of you.
Now, again, from a basketball team construction conversation, all right, you basically get Paul George off the books, and it's 1 year of LeBron, and then LeBron plays his one season, he retires, and then you try to find another player to fill that max contract.
Right.
Like, honestly, that would be a blessing for the Sixers.
Oh, now you're talking yourself into it.
There he is.
No,
we thought we had him for a second.
No, I just don't believe that there is a legitimate possibility.
No, it's not happening.
I think there was a legitimate chance, like 5-6 years ago, when ultimately all he wanted to do was be in L.A., Space Jam 2.
Yeah, when he was looking at the schools out here, right? On the main line, right?
I thought there was more of a chance then because it was play with Ben, who he was the mentor of. Joel Embiid wasn't broken. I don't believe there's a legitimate chance now. But from a basketball standpoint, like, yeah, sure, I would do it for my entertainment and to get Paul George off the books.
I like the latter part.
But that's really it.
But it ain't happening.
It's not. But I'll ask the audience this. As I told you, we have another branch to this oak tree of the topic of expectations versus enjoyment with sports. If LeBron came here, they may not win anything. What else is new? But I would be able to see that I saw him wear a Sixers uniform. Does stuff like that matter to you? We'll talk about that next. It's Kincade Salciunas. You can text it at 610-632-0975. Andrew DeCecco in for John here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like Groundhog Day because you keep hearing the same old tired takes? Good news. There is a solution to your afternoon drag.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. 1 4-hour dose every weekday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. will sharpen your mind, give you the knowledge you need, and add that boost of energy needed to make that drive home.
Just turn the dial. It's that easy.
Make the switch. Unfiltered. Weekdays at 2 p.m. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. For fans of all ages, if you have a sports talk radio problem, call 610-632-0975.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
My dad Len always says, the minute you get in a rideshare, buckle up.
And my son Jordan always says, the minute you get in a rideshare accident, first seek medical attention and then call us. This is Len Lundy.
And I'm Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. My dad and I hope we'll never meet you because of an accident, but if we do, we're here for you.
Remember our name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers.
Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com.
Making choices in the morning can be a bit much. I just want someone to say sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, sausage and cheese or egg and cheese English muffin, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Get 2 for only $3. At Wendy's, fresh made food means simple choices. Dare we say it's even a little fun? Okay, not like roller coaster fun. There's only so much we can do, people. When you want less thinky and more brekky in the morning, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. And it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Shop 4th of July savings at the Home Depot right now and get up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $600 off select appliances with free delivery, like Samsung. From all-in-one washer dryers to smart refrigerators, upgrade to tech you can trust with Samsung appliances. The Home Depot has what you need to simplify your routine. Don't miss 4th of July appliance savings at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid June 18th through July 9th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Unfiltered. Silvana Kelleher, Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo. Bold, passionate, and unapologetic conversation for the Philly sports fan. Weekdays at 2 p.m. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Coming up at 10, Mike Missanelli. This is Philadelphia Sports Talk with Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The 7 a.m. hour of Kincade and Salciunas is brought to you by the Bet Parks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the Bet Parks app and play all your favorite casino games. Bet Parks has a great offer for new users. Got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It is 7-11 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew DeCecco in for Johnny the K today. Our YouTube is up and running. I know we were having some technical difficulties earlier, but we're back up and running. So if you are somebody that likes to listen and watch on YouTube, feel free. So I see one of our commenters, Brian, with the laughing emojis. We're not getting LeBron. Again, I don't think that's happening. I don't think LeBron James is coming here unless LeBron James sees the situation here in Philadelphia and thinks this is the best place for me to go to try to win. If not, a return to Cleveland, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if he's trying to win, I can't imagine that's going to be here.
Yeah, I don't think so, unless he thinks, all right, with Maxey and McCain and other young guys, even if Embiid gets hurt, I'm still LeBron James. And let's face it, he's still playing at a very high level. So I have this question. Because LeBron James, if he were to come here, and that's a major if, and I don't think it's happening, to the point where I'm not even going to do a show off of it. But I will ask this question off of this conversation. If you were able to say, that guy played for my team, does that do anything for you?
No. I am somebody who I'll go to a sporting event if there's, sort of an all-time talent that's playing in the game.
Right.
I mean, but let me ask you this. Does the fact that Julio Jones played for the Eagles do anything for you?
Yeah. It was kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, but I wasn't expecting him to be the guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was, probably fourth on the depth chart in receivers or third on the depth chart in receivers?
Like fourth.
Yeah. And if you're counting in Goddard, he's fifth in the passing game. It's pretty, sometimes I forget, you kind of reminded me that Julio Jones is on the Eagles. But, I do like sometimes being able to say that guy played for my team. Now, if they come here and they're run down, then, I get no joy in it. But, if they're still playing at somewhat of a level, like
Pedro Martinez.
Right, he pitched his ass off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, in that perspective, yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I get to say that Pedro Martinez played for the Phillies. I got to go to a game where Pedro Martinez pitched for my team. That's cool.
Yeah, man. This does stuff for me. I like it. It was so cool. My thought in the moment was probably a little bit loftier of expectations. But when I saw James Harden hit the first step back three
cool.
in a Sixers jersey, I'm like, damn, this is pretty awesome. I don't care if it's 70-year-old Steph Curry. If the Sixers were to sign him and he hits a three from the logo, I'd be like, that's pretty sick to root for that. I don't know. It does stuff for me because I just think it's fun. It would be cool to have the jersey, stuff like that. It's not necessarily, I think it's going to bring this team a championship, but I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't want all-time greats in this city.
Well,
even
that's
if they're
the thing.
washed.
I would want to see it. Now, wash is one thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to be your example, Andrew, where you would go to a game because the all-time great was coming in playing for another team. I went to the Phillies Tigers a few years ago. It was Miguel Cabrera's final season. He was doing this, the tour where they give him the gifts, at every series. I watched that man hit a ground ball up the middle, and Trey Turner, to his left, fielded it, and I thought he was going to have to make some spectacular turnaround throw. My man never left the batter's box because he was just I'm not going to beat that one.
So he didn't even try.
And I was like, oh, that's sad. When Iverson came back, he was sad. I didn't at first you're excited. I can't wait to go see Miguel Cabrera. Oh my God, Iverson's returning. In a Sixers uniform, I'm going to go watch. and then you're just kind of sad seeing it play out. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want to
fair.
be. I don't want to be sad seeing them play.
So maybe not watch, but I'm like, if not to necessarily build a team around, I need the all-time great in their prime or whatever. It is cool to see like those great players in the sport though play for your team. That does something for me.
Like
it's not a lot.
LeBron
but
averaged 25, 8 and 8 last year. Like, it's not like he would come here and suck. Like, if he came here, he'd probably still play at a high level. Do I think they'd win a championship? No. Like, look at how it played out for the Lakers this year. Like, I don't think that they would win an NBA championship. But to say, man, LeBron James played for the Philadelphia 76ers, like, the Wizards suck, but I bet it was pretty cool that Michael Jordan played for the Wizards.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, the prospects of it would be cool. For me, in that particular situation, I don't know that it would do a whole lot for me because I look at it more in basketball terms and what that would mean for the younger players
Right.
and the nucleus and the long term. In the long term, even really in the short term, what does that get you?
Right. Now, Schmiegel checks in on YouTube. Jaromir Jagr played for the Flyers.
Good one.
I can say
Good
that.
one.
And, oh, by the way, played really well. That was Claude Giroux's best season of his NHL career, and he's had a spectacular NHL career, but that was his best season. Like, I would love, like, if LeBron James, the news drop, I would go nuts.
Yeah,
from
same.
a radio content purpose.
Right.
From a, man, this is really cool purpose. Would I be screaming NBA championship, here we come? No. I wouldn't be. But I would be excited for the season.
I think a lot of people would be.
Like, that would fire me up.
I feel like a lot that would move the needle for a lot of folks who maybe are on the fence right now.
Yeah.
Or at least skeptical.
So we want to hear from you on that conversation, not whether or not you want LeBron here because it's best for the Sixers. Like, I'm not trying to have a basketball conversation when it comes to LeBron James because I really, really, really don't think it's happening, right? But would you want to – are you somebody that would like to say, I saw that? That person played on my team. The Julio Jones example is a great one. And I saw him score a touchdown. And look, it may not have meant so much to one Eagles fan. It meant something to Jalen Hurts. That was the most excited I've ever. Jalen Hurts was more excited talking about throwing a touchdown pass to Julio Jones than he was winning the Super Bowl.
That was about one of the few occasions that I remember him really lighting up when talking about Julio Jones.
Right, like he was more happy about that than winning the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, so you can text in on that as well. It's 610-632-0975. We're still talking about the Phillies, who took 2 of 3 over the Braves. Coming up next, Connor Thomas wanted the Phillies to do something this weekend. They did it, and now you're worried about the situation?
Yeah, this is my John thought of the day.
We got to hit a quota, I guess. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A series win in Atlanta. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Braves down in Atlanta over the weekend. Ranger Suarez, a dominant outing yesterday. Yeah, that's par for the course for him lately. 10 straight quality starts. His ERA is down to 2 even. The Phils now hold a 1.5 game lead in the NL East as the Mets got swept by the Pirates. But the Phillies have another tough opponent coming into town tonight. They're back home at the bank, and they're facing the San Diego Padres. Game 1 is at 6:35 this evening. Zach Wheeler faces off against Matt Waldron. Waldron making a season debut for the Padres. The Flyers made 9 selections over the weekend in the NHL draft, including winger Porter Martone and center Jack Nesbitt in the first round. We'll keep you updated as our offseason continues. In Sixers roster news, Kelly Oubre picked up his player option for $8.4 million for the coming season. Eric Gordon declined his. The team also declined Lonnie Walker, the 4th team option. So we'll keep you updated as the roster takes shape. The Union lost to the Columbus Crew 1-0 yesterday. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like Groundhog Day because you keep hearing the same old tired takes? Good news. There is a solution to your afternoon drag.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. 1 4-hour dose every weekday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. will sharpen your mind, give you the knowledge you need, and add that boost of energy needed to make that drive home.
Just turn the dial. It's that easy.
Make the switch. Unfiltered. Weekdays at 2 p.m. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. For fans of all ages, if you have a sports talk radio problem, call 610-632-0975.
Injured in a car accident, slip and fall, work injury? When the bills hit and the paychecks stop, you need a lawyer who brings the payday. Rand and Mike Spear, the accident lawyers, have helped recover over $1 billion for injured victims just like you. Broken bones, lost wages, permanent pain? It's time to cash in on what you deserve. Payday starts with one call. Demand Rand. Call 1-800-90-LEGAL.
What could possibly go better with your seasonal celebrations and Tony Roni's? Where else can you get Philly's best tomato pie, jumbo wings, authentic cheesesteaks, the freshest salads, and great artisan sandwiches? With 8 locations in the Philly area, Tony Roni's has your favorites for dine-in, takeout, or delivery. Need catering to your workplace? Tony Roni's delivers catering from all their locations with sandwich or hoagie platters, large specialty salads, homemade pasta platters, and pizza. Check out our menu online at TonyRonies.com or stop in for a slice of heaven. Tony Ronies, home of Philly's best tomato pie.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
The real and inside story on Philly sports is here, and it's powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 7:23 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. So one of our recent topics that we just opened up, you can text in on this at 610-632-0975. LeBron James opted into his contract, $52.6 million. But the story that came out with it is that he's going to monitor the situation with the Lakers. And if he does not believe that he has a chance of winning a championship, they might trade him. He will seek a trade. Now, do I think he's actually going to get traded? I honestly don't. Does he really want to leave his son after the whole song and dance they did to get him there?
I don't think so.
You know, once again, handpicking J.J. Redick because he drank wine and did a podcast with him and got him hired to be the head coach. I don't think he's even going to be moved. Which then led to a conversation because, again, I don't even want to have the would you trade for LeBron convo. Are you, as a fan, would you want to be able to say, I saw that player play for my team? And it doesn't have to be LeBron, but he's obviously the guy that we're using the example of. Now, a couple of people have chimed in on YouTube. I mentioned Smeagol. He had the Yager played for the Flyers. But then Chip checked in and said, I wanted to see Chris Webber, but that was pretty sad because he was banged up when he came here.
Towards the end, definitely.
Brian Pumper checks in with Elton Brand. Elton Brand had all the knee issues. Now, he was okay when he first came here. It was just wasn't necessarily pretty. Then he came back, and he was just here to try to mentor Joel Embiid, see how far that got him. To me, I would like to still be able to say it and say that I saw this person play for my team. I would.
Billy Wagner was another one.
Yeah, to be able to say that you saw him.
Yeah.
For the Phillies, for your team.
Right, and he was throwing heat, and obviously you're talking about one of the better closers, from my era growing up.
Yeah.
So you get to see him, produce for the Phillies. I thought that was pretty cool.
And here's the thing: it depends on the expectations for the team. It doesn't outweigh what's best for the organization. Like, Aroldis Chapman is going to be a name that pops up when we get closer to the deadline for the Phillies. And he could actually help this bullpen. It'd be cool to also see that guy who throws that hard on this team with the career he's put together. But it's just like, I wouldn't want a player like that on the Eagles right now if they don't have a need there just to say, oh, I saw this NFL legend. It kind of fits with the Sixers because we already have major question marks about this team's viability. So at that point, it's almost like, yeah, why not?
Football, it doesn't do as much for me, even though you brought up the Julio Jones example, Andrew, just because when you're at the end in football, you're at the end, right? Like, LeBron coming here at 40 could still average 25, 8, and 8.
Yeah.
Like he did last year at the age of 39. Like, I don't think he's going to turn 40 and then all of a sudden he's averaging 12 points per game.
And turning into a pumpkin. Right.
Like,
That's not going to happen.
Whereas in football, you know, how many times unless you're Ndamukong Suh just eating up the middle, right, and Linval Joseph, like getting the aged edge rusher or the aged receiver, like,
or on the rare occasion running back, which obviously that doesn't happen at all.
No, like because they're done.
They're pretty much shot at that point, and they're hanging on. So I get it. There's a steep decline or a steep drop off at certain positions. Corner,
yeah.
Corner's a really big one. James Bradbury. There's a lot of veteran corners out there you can look to. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more intrigue, of course, with baseball and basketball.
Right.
When you're getting one of those aging stars that have,
if they can still do it. Like, again, I wouldn't want LeBron to come here and stink. Like, if he came here, I'd want to, like, enjoy it a little bit.
But, like, Michael Jordan on the Wizards was not winning anything. But I'm sure people in Washington were still like, yo, this is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Right.
To be able to say that they saw Michael Jordan play for their favorite team, all, like, 7 Wizards fans that are out there. All right, so we'll get to some text messages on that and I'll move our YouTube comments. But we need to talk about this Max Kepler thing because on Friday... Was it Friday when those comments came out? Friday morning?
I think it was.
So Thursday night, but the story, a lot of people saw the story Friday morning in The Athletic. It was Matt Gelb's story. Great job, as always, by Matt Gelb. I was furious. Because the Phillies already have enough issues on the field. And we're coming off of a few weeks ago when Nick Castellanos lost his mind when Rob Thompson made this smart managerial decision to replace Nick Castellanos in a close ball game with a better fielder. Like,
and he should do that more.
Yes, he should not go against it, and now all of a sudden he is. But that was the smart baseball decision to make, but it caused a little bit of an uproar with Nick Castellanos to the point where he was suspended for a game. Now, Max Kepler opens up his trap last week about how he was promised to be the starting left fielder and was complaining that he's only started in 60 of the, at the time, 81 games. You're still the starting left fielder, dude. You started platooning because you were batting below 200 in the months of May and June.
And when he made those comments, he was batting 209. It's like read the room.
Yeah.
Maybe if you were better in your opportunities, you'd be an everyday player.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think back to the days of, like, Scott Kingery when he was first here. Like, Scott Kingery would go 4 for 4, and then Gabe Kapler would bench him for the next 2 days. Like, all right, you want to have something to say? You have something to say.
Yeah.
Max Kepler's not been playing good baseball. And then he felt the need to speak out about how upset he was that he was not getting his consistent starting playing time, which he was. It was just coming off of the heels of not playing for 2 straight days because of left-handed pitching on the mound for the opposing team, which he cannot hit left-handed pitching. You were in favor of Max Kepler, like, not being benched or anything.
Yeah, he needed to play.
But now you're having second thoughts?
Well, no, it's not so much that, right? Like, I think the Phillies did the right thing because they needed offense. And I'm not saying they scored 13 runs on Friday night because Max Kepler was in the lineup.
His averages dropped to 207, by the way.
Yeah, it's just you come off a series against the Astros and you're facing a righty. I want your best team out there, and I still think against a right-handed pitcher in left field, Max Kepler's their best option.
He went 2 for 5 in that day.
Yeah, first day.
First 2-hit day out of Max Kepler. I'll try to continue your point. I'll try to find the last time he had a 2-hit day.
But here's my issue with the whole situation, right? You know how you kind of, maybe this is how earthquakes work. I'm not a seismologist, but maybe some tremors you feel before the actual earthquake hits that give you a sign that something bigger may be going on. You had the Castellanos thing. We haven't really seen locker room issues for this Phillies team under Rob Thompson.
Correct.
Now you have the Kepler thing pretty closely after it. You handle those situations differently. And I do think they did it what was in the best interest of the team because they needed to create offense after getting shut out for 26 straight innings. But this is not a situation to just turn a blind eye to now, where it's just like, oh, okay, well, they played him. He didn't really say anything this weekend. Maybe this is done. Like, I don't like when teams start having these sketchy locker room things pop up together because, to me, that shows underlying frustration with the team. And that's where I'm more worried about it. I don't have a major issue that he played, but the fact that they handled it different than Castellanos, I don't know what that says about where they're at right now. Like, it feels like a little bit that some Phillies players may be feeling some type of way. And that could be the pressure of the last ride with this group. But this is not, okay, he played, whatever, he said something, we move on. This is something we should continue to just have a side eye on as we get closer to the deadline and this roster gets reshaped.
I agree with you because it is the first time where we've heard any sort of issues coming from this team. And except for last year with Alec Boehm, and they literally benched him in a playoff game. But that was just Alec Boehm being Alec Boehm.
Yeah, that's just him being upset with himself.
That had nothing to do with the rest of the team. I mean, it is something interesting to keep an eye on. I mean, my thing with Kepler, it's like he poured salt in the wound. Like, the team just got swept by the Astros.
Right.
Now you feel the need to
open
up your mouth. Like,
I don't know if he was outwardly complaining. He was asked, and you have to look at how the question was framed.
Yeah.
And, he probably didn't need to say that. And if you're out there, make the most of your opportunities and give Rob Thompson a reason to play you every day. It's quite simple. I don't know. I think that this is a really – I think we kind of know who he is right now. But
I absolutely know who he is.
The next couple of weeks, I guess, is should really fortify that and give the Phillies all the ammo they need to possibly move off of him, I would think. If he can't help you and he's doing this, I mean, what do you –
He's not helping you.
Like, what are you supposed to do? Like,
so here you go. His 2-hit days. He had his last 2-hit game before this past weekend was June 15th, so not that long ago, where he went 2 for 4 against the Blue Jays. Before that, it was May 20th. He went almost an entire month before he had a 2-hit day. He only had 2 2-hit days in the month of May. May 3rd against the D-backs and May 20th against the Rockies. So since May 1st, Max Kepler, and we're on the final day of June, since May 1st, Max Kepler has had 4 2-hit games.
Oh, that is paltry production.
And that was...
You got to be kidding me.
That was one of the big signings from Dave Dombrowski this offseason.
Yeah, that was a real home run.
4 2-hit games? From a guy that's supposed to bat 5th in your order at some time. Right now with Harper out, he's in the middle of your order.
And that should be all that you need to have a determination of who he is. Because there's going to be some that subscribe to the fact that, well, if he's not playing every day, how's he supposed to get into a rhythm? I mean, you just said it. 60 out of the, 81 game? 80?
When he had the comment, it was 60 out of the 81 games. Now it would be 87. How many games have they played? 84, because there's 3 game series. Yeah. So 84 games. He's now started in 63 of them.
Yeah, he's played plenty. You know exactly who he is right now. I don't know that playing every day is going to somehow put you into this rhythm where you're batting, I don't know, I think the Phillies would take 240.
Yeah.
250.
No, even so he makes those comments, he gets 2 hits, raises his average to 213, and then he goes 0 for his next 6. And he's now 207. Now he walked twice yesterday. That's great. I'll tell you, at least he got on base yesterday. That's just insane to me.
It's embarrassing.
It is. It absolutely is. It's just something that I don't need to deal with. But you're right, Connor. It's something to keep an eye on because for the first time in the sort of Rob Thompson era, as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, we've now seen 2 moments within a week and a half where something happened. Something was said. There was frustration. One led to a benching. One didn't. See how this plays out. All right, coming up next. This is a day where we're kind of bouncing all over the place, and I love it. We have another betting scandal in sports and another one in the NBA. And I have a question for you all off of it. And it's another one of these topics where I imagine we could get a lot of reaction to for the remainder of the show. So start texting in 610-632-0975 on what we already have. But a question off of the latest betting scandal next here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here, and you know what that means. Engagement season. But remember, don't force it.
Don't tell your significant other something so ridiculous they almost feel obligated to engage and prove you wrong. Let it be natural. Let it be intelligent and entertaining. Let it be unfiltered. With Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m.
Make the switch. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
What's up, guys? It's Andrew. It's that time of the year. We know that you're enjoying your time outside. Maybe you're going on vacations. Maybe you got the pool days. I've been going to the swim club a lot with Coop. He loves it. The cookouts. We'll be doing one this upcoming weekend. Don't let your summer fly by, though, without working on your biggest to-do lists. And your biggest to-do list is making sure that your home is good for the summer rain, the fall, and, of course, the winter weather, which is fast approaching considering we're almost in the month of July already. Have you been ignoring drywall cracks, maybe uneven sagging or bouncing floors, sticking windows and doors, bugs, pests, wet basements, heightened indoor allergies, mold and mildew smells? Yeah, like all those things that I just gave you, these things point to major damage building up in your foundation, your crawl space, or basement. And Groundworks knows that these issues only get worse over time. If you do not get ahead of these aren't like some sort of virus which go away. Don't just go down there with a Clorox wipe to try to make it smell better and take care of the mold and mildew smells and the Febreze, right? Or the plugins. No, you got something building up in your foundation, crawl space, and basement. But don't worry. One of Groundworks experts will come out to your house, identify your home's issues at the source, tell you why it's happening, how it can be fixed, how they will approach it, and exactly how much it's going to cost. You want to get out of these problems sooner rather than later, because the longer you wait, the more extensive and expensive the fix will be. Visit groundworks.com today. Book your free inspection with a no-obligation quote included. Groundworks, there's a reason why they're the trusted local experts.
It's time for patio parties, backyard barbecues, and porch swings. But is your home ready? Our preferred pros can help turn your home into a summer oasis. From backyard decks to AC tune-ups and roof repairs, our preferred pros are ready to tackle all your home care needs. Call Preferred Pros today.
Clogged drains, leaking sinks, no hot water? Ace Hardware Home Services has got you covered. Schedule fast expert plumbing service at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Landis Block transforms your backyard into a dream oasis. Visit landisbc.com to start envisioning your paradise today. From paving to landscaping, Landis Block, your backyard, your paradise.
Great news from Water Furnace, New Jersey. With new state incentives and a 30% federal tax credit, now's the time to switch to geothermal heating and cooling. Visit waterfurnacenewjersey.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 97.5thefanatic.com.
Let me tell you one of the reasons I think we became the largest injury firm in the world, and it's not even close. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My wife and I had a plan early on. In our firm, our lawyers only work on certain types of cases. Our products liability and dangerous drug lawyers only work on those cases. Same for car crashes, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, and insurance disputes. Our thinking is for these lawyers to focus on one area of the law and live it and breathe it. Power comes from knowledge. Many lawyers do everything, jack of all trades. Not us. And we don't charge an hourly rate. You only pay us if we win. If you want to hire us, it's easy. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone, pound 529, or visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer from the comfort of your own home. Let us get to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This year, TripAdvisor named Philly one of America's top destinations.
The New York Times recently called Philly an ideal destination for the food obsessed.
USA Today named Citizens Bank Park the best stadium in baseball.
I'm Mike Quick.
I'm Kate Scott.
I'm Tom McCarthy.
Philly's a winning city.
Since 1982, I've been proud to call the city of brotherly love home.
There's no place I'd rather be.
Man, it's good to be home.
Join the Mann Center in celebrating another Eagles championship season with a special concert event on July 24th, hosted by the voice of the Eagles, Merrill Reese. Relive NFL Films' stunning video highlights of the Philadelphia Eagles 2024 championship season on 3 giant screens alongside the Great Philadelphia Orchestra performing the inspiring music of NFL Films live. Picnics are welcome and parking is free. Tickets on sale now at mancenter.org.
When breaking sports news happens in Philly, we have you covered. Live updates, press conferences, insight, perspective, and your reaction. This is 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 7:41 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. You can text the show at 610-632-0975. Got anybody chiming in on the text line as of right now this morning?
Of course we do.
What do we got?
You brought up LeBron James. You think there aren't people texting us right now?
I know.
Come on.
I know.
Dave in Mount Laurel says, having LeBron in a Sixers jersey does absolutely zero for me. It's one more free agent has been being rolled into Philly on their decline, and to make it all about him. Keep that sideshow out of here and focus on the future.
All right. So again, let's talk this out. All right. So first off, has been, he still plays at a very high level. That's number one. Like that's my immediate pushback to that text. But if we're talking about focusing on the future, I can make the case to you that this helps the future. First off, imagine one of the young players, you mentioned the mentorship earlier in the show when we first brought this up. Imagine a young player being able to see how LeBron James conducts himself over the course of an NBA season. So I do think that could help some of the young guys out for the future. But from a roster construction standpoint, even though this isn't happening, so I'm not wasting too much time on it, if LeBron said, I want to go to the Sixers, that's the team I want to play for, the guy you would have to move is Paul George. Is anybody going to lose sleep over Paul George leaving?
Nope.
Is anybody going to be like upset that LeBron's only here for a year and then you fill that max slot with somebody else? Like, if anything, if you're talking about for the future, it's actually kind of good for the Sixers. Now, again, this isn't happening. This is a make-believe scenario. Unless LeBron, for some reason, falls in love with the Sixers and the roster that they have here.
I just don't see it happening.
But I do believe it is good for the future. Now, I wonder, what was the texter's name, Connor?
Dave.
I wonder if Dave would, not watch. Because I would not want to miss a second of it.
Some people would hate watch.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that happens, it seems like if you scroll through social media, that happens an awful lot.
It does happen,
with the
especially
Phillies.
with this baseball team. Yeah, exactly. But, I don't know, he says keep the sideshow out of here. What sideshow?
He's the main show.
He's just going to command a lot of attention, but I don't think that's going to overshadow the younger players and Joel Embiid and all of that.
And if you don't think they're winning a championship now, even without him, then at least you got entertained for a year.
No, Dave and Mount Laurel, I guarantee you, is a Michael Jordan guy. And that's where it comes from.
Okay.
I guarantee you.
I'm also a Michael Jordan guy, but that doesn't color my perception in any way.
That's funny.
Yeah, but most Jordan folks are anti-LeBron to that level.
Right. That's true. All right, we'll get some more because I want to open up this topic, which will also lead to conversations. Now, Andrew, you do not bet at all, right? Not even baseball, basketball, or hockey. Connor,
Zilch.
I know that you are a gambling man, and
Yes,
you
I
know
am.
that I like to dabble. So, over the weekend, Malik Beasley is getting investigated because there are allegations from the 2023-24 season when Beasley played with the Milwaukee Bucks. Here's a story from ESPN. One prominent U.S. sportsbook detected unusually heavy betting interest on Beasley's statistics beginning around January of 2024. A gambling industry source pointed to a game between the Bucks and the Trailblazers on January 31st of that year. The odds on Beasley recording fewer than 2.5 rebounds moved significantly at sportsbooks before the game, shortening from around plus 120 to around minus 250 due to a surge of action on the under. Beasley finished with 6 rebounds, so the bets were deemed an unusual loss. An investigation is not a charge, is what they're saying, blah, blah, blah. But they are investigating him for maybe fixing games or his statistics or whatever. Now, there's somebody posted a video recently when there was a game where they were down 9 and the spread was 8.5 and there was 5 seconds left. And normally on the inbound pass, you would just let the clock run out. He booked it down the other end of the court and laid it in. They're like, oh, maybe he had the plus 8.5 or whatever. Let me ask you guys this question. And I want people to chime in on this at 610-632-0975 because betting has exploded, right? Like we know that it's everywhere. Broadcasts are sponsored by it. The Indiana Pacers play for on the FanDuel network, like it's a TV network.
That's right.
It's crazy. And you know how much I enjoy gambling because I think it's fun and, responsibly, of course. As more and more stories come out that guys are getting involved in this, does that make somebody hesitate? Connor, I'll ask you because you actually do bet. Would that make you hesitate?
No, I'm going to lose my money anyway.
That's kind of how
I'm not good at it. And I also try and shy away from player props.
I got you. Fair.
I look at team stuff more, partially to kind of hedge the bet a little bit because I think those are easier. But
and usually the players that have been getting pinched are guys that are role players or maybe not playing all that much.
Yeah, I'm not deep enough into the sports gambling weeds to be betting Malik Beasley under 2.5 rebounds.
Well, that's good news.
Right. Or Jonte Porter. He was the most recent one before Malik Beasley. It was 1 rebound. Or it was the guy was not playing all that much. But I just wonder, a guy like Terry Rozier was being investigated as well. A guy that shot the ball a lot.
He did.
He was not afraid to pull and pop. Now, if he's betting his overs, then it's all right, he's really trying hard, even though that's still against the rules. Or you could be betting he's betting his unders and he's missing shots on purpose, where there have been some games where Terry Rozier's shot selection was questionable. I just wonder, as more and more information or more stuff like this comes out, would that cause somebody to hesitate?
I think it's going to, because how can it not? You start to see these things pop up. You don't know if there's going to be some funny business that's sort of factored into the equation here, and I think you have to have your antennas up, especially now in light of this.
Now these conversations have been happening since before apps.
Oh, yeah.
Shoeless Joe Jackson,
well
before. Throwing the World Series. This.
Yeah, I took his over on FanDuel, and it just didn't get done.
So this is nothing new where guys may be cooking the books a little bit because of gambling. But now it
put a spotlight on it.
Yeah, but now that it's so easily accessible with the apps, I wonder if that would cause somebody to hesitate. So chime in on that as well at 610-632-0975. We reset all of our topics and check our text messages next. It's Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another gem from Ranger. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is your chance to reclaim your restless nights and upgrade to a premium mattress. Get matched, sleep at night. The Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Braves down in Atlanta over the weekend, and Ranger Suarez threw another gem yesterday, his 10th quality start in a row. His ERA is down to 2 even. The Phils hold a 1.5 game lead in the NL East as the Mets got swept by the Pirates. They've got another tough opponent, the Phillies do, in a series tonight back home at Citizens Bank Park. Game 1 against San Diego. It starts at 6:35 p.m. this evening. The Padres will go with Matt Waldron, who's making his season debut on the mound. Zach Wheeler goes for the Fightins. The Flyers picked 9 players over the weekend in the NHL draft, including first-round selections winger Porter Martone and center Jack Nesbitt. We'll keep you updated as their offseason continues. In Sixers news, Kelly Oubre picked up his player option with the team for this coming season. Eric Gordon declined his, and the team declined their team option on Lonnie Walker IV. The Union, they fell to Columbus Crew 1-0 yesterday. This update's also brought to you by Moyer Indoor Outdoor Services. Follow Andrew Salciunas' lead and get a jump on a lush green lawn this spring right now. Go to eMoyer.com for free estimates. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The summer's here, and you know what that means. Engagement season. But remember, don't force it.
Don't tell your significant other something so ridiculous they almost feel obligated to engage and prove you wrong. Let it be natural. Let it be intelligent and entertaining. Let it be unfiltered. With Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m.
Make the switch. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's a fact, Jack. Gary Barbera is back with his big Auto-Palooza. Get ready, Freddie. Employee pricing plus 0% financing back at Barbera. You don't love it? Bring it back. Dan Stan, that's the plan from the man. Philly, South Jersey, I'm talking to you. Are you listening? We're ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. You don't love your new deeply discounted Dodge, Chrysler, or cheap Jeep? Bring it back to Barbera. Hank, take it to the bank. Lee, can't you see? Get your butt to Gary Barbera's #1 Chrysler land, #1 Jeep land, Boardbeck and the Boulevard in the great Northeast. Low employee pricing, 0% financing. You don't love your new car? Bring it back. During our big Auto-Palooza, is Barbera the best? Hey, Les. Boy, I guess.
Plus tax, eggs, and 422 doc fees on approved credit with proper down payment. Call or click 1-800-Barbera.com for details.
Coach Sirianni, is Barbera the best?
Boy, I guess.
Go Birds!
It's time for patio parties, backyard barbecues, and porch swings. But is your home ready? Our preferred pros can help turn your home into a summer oasis. From backyard decks to AC tune-ups and roof repairs, our preferred pros are ready to tackle all your home care needs. Call Preferred Pros today.
Great news from Water Furnace, New Jersey. With new state incentives and a 30% federal tax credit, now's the time to switch to geothermal heating and cooling. Visit waterfurnacenewjersey.com.
Zoom Drain and Sewer Service, your trusted experts in South Jersey for swift, precise sewer and drain solutions. Fast, focused, fixed. Book online at zoomdrain.com.
Bachman Solar. Solar is more affordable than you think. Receive federal tax credits and apply for 0% financing with solar solutions at bachmansroofing.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
This is Kincade and Salciunas. Philadelphia Sports Talk.
97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 7:54 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, so we got a bunch of topics that we'd love to hear from you about on the phone line, 610-632-0975. You can call, text. You can also chime in on our YouTube feed as well. Like, subscribe. We appreciate you all, and we're back up and running on YouTube. All right, so what we started the show off, and I thought about this coming in this morning. How do you balance enjoyment and entertainment with expectations? I'm going to the Phillies game tonight with my dad. I'm taking him for this was his Father's Day gift. We narrowed down the game to go to, and we're going to Phillies Padres. All right,
should be a good one.
I can't wait. Zach Wheeler. Turns out Wheeler's on the bump tonight. Like we had a great game that we picked a couple of weeks ago on Father's Day. And as much as this team drives me insane, and as much as I think that they need to get a right-handed power bat and maybe get creative, moving Bryce back to the outfield. And, obviously you have to add like 2 bullpen arms. And I'm curious to see how many of the starters or which starters go to the bullpen. Like, I'm excited to see how these things play out. I'm also nervous when I hear Dave Dombrowski talk about how Otto Kemp's a big part of their plans. Like, that kind of freaks me out that you think Otto Kemp's a big part of your plans. But ultimately, I'm just going to a ball game tonight. And I can tune all that stuff out. I can walk into Citizens Bank Park today, buy my beer, buy my dog, sit down in the seat with my dad, and just talk baseball.
And enjoy the game.
And not worry about standings, not worry about right-handed power bat, not worry about lineup construction. But I think there's a lot of people that can't turn that off at times.
I think so, and that really deprives you of fully enjoying the experience.
Yeah.
And for me, I approach, as I mentioned, every game, whether it's a Phillies, a Sixers, or Flyers game, wide-eyed. Every day you sort of turn the page and you just try to maximize that experience. And I think that that's the healthy way to do it. Now, there's a million different ways you can approach it, but I think if you look at it a different way, I mean, you're constantly going to experience the highs and lows, and it's going to affect. I mean, this is sports.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be an outlet, something that gives you something to detract you from what's going on outside. And I think you have to have that mindset when you watch sports. At least that's how I do it.
Now, and one of the sort of branches to this topic is the thought that you may know how the season will play out. And, John talks about this a lot. Like, if they don't change the way they run the bases, if they don't add at the deadline, which I agree, they're not going to win the World Series. And if you have that in the back of your mind, can you just enjoy the ball game? If I say the Flyers aren't winning the Stanley Cup this year, you go, oh, yeah, they're rebuilding. Okay. If I say the Phillies aren't winning the World Series, there's a lot of anger around that. Because this is kind of the last year with this sort of core group of players. Who knows who ends up coming back among the free agents of Suarez and JT and Kyle Schwarber, and if you even want to bring back one of those players and JT Realmuto, right? Like, I'm okay if he's gone after this season, unless it's for a lot less money, because he is still a very, very good defensive catcher and still handles this rotation very well. But, when it comes to the knowing the ending, same with the Sixers, to me, watching Joel Embiid play is a gift because of how good he is and what he can do. But because people know that at some point he's going to get hurt, it's what's the point?
Yeah, and when you really put it in those terms, Andrew, that's sad to hear.
It is sad.
Now, there's the other side of that coin, though, because the Phillies set these expectations with their recent success, with the way that the lineup and the pitching staff is constructed. But still, I've never been a wake me up when it's October person.
I'm with you.
Because I think that just detracts from the excitement of a 162-game season that you kind of get to experience the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ride is a part of it. And it's the random night. It's the Lorenzen no-hitter. It's the Embiid 70-point game against Wemby. Like, I get it. A lot of times, especially a baseball season, the beauty of baseball is the background noise. You're cooking dinner. Like, that's what I do. Unless I'm listening to music when I'm cooking dinner. Now that the games are at like 6:40, the game's on in the background. Cooper's watching whatever Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and I got the game on the laptop while I'm cooking.
You were listening to something the other day.
I was. A little Otis Redding.
Otis Redding,
yeah, wonderful. Yeah. And so I can put that game on, and it's just on as the background noise. And then there's a guy throwing a no-hitter. Or there's a guy that's a double away from a cycle, like when JT Realmuto hit for the cycle. Or when JT Realmuto hits the inside the park home run. Now, that's a playoff game. You're watching that intently, but that's the beauty of sports. Any given night, something magical can happen, which is why how many times you heard this is the first time this has happened since, and it's like 1800s. Like, that's why you watch sports, because it's the unknown on a daily basis. You could say that Paul Skeens is going to throw a no-hitter every single night, and then he gets shelled the other day. Your team,
right. Not
the Phillies, but your team beats Paul Skeens. Like, that's exciting. That's something cool.
By the way, 2 nights ago marked the 21-year anniversary that David Bell hit for the cycle.
That's good. Damn right. I hated David Bell. I rooted every single day for somebody else to hit for the cycle because I didn't want David Bell to be the last guy to do it. And I appreciate JT Realmuto for doing that. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. The other topics that we have, the most recent one, Malik Beasley being investigated for cooking the books a little bit and betting. With the more and more recent stories coming out about players that have been investigated or pinched for it, does it make you hesitate a little bit when you're about to make your bet? That's one topic. The other one, does it do anything for you being able to say that that guy played for my team? And we're having that conversation with the most recent reporting from Shams Charania that LeBron James is going to see how this offseason plays out for the Lakers. And if he does not believe that he can win a championship next year with the Lakers, he's going to request a trade. Now, say what you want about LeBron James. When it comes to that conversation, that's not the one that we're having. Does it do anything? If, let's say, hell froze over and LeBron comes here. They traded for him. Would it do anything for you to say, LeBron James played for the Sixers or is going to play for the Sixers? For me, that still means something to me. It does.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're talking about one of the all-time greats that would be playing in your city. You have the opportunity to go see him anytime. It's going to help ticket sales. It's also going to help this young nucleus. I mean, it would help the young nucleus of talent.
Yeah.
And I think that would help get them on a track moving forward that you can feel pretty good about. Yeah, I think that there would be some – I mean, obviously it's not going to happen, but it would be something that I think would be beneficial to all parties.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, is it going to happen? No. I don't think so. I won't rule it out, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I would love to see it. Not just because I'm sitting here saying they would win a championship if they did. I just kind of want to see it. And do people care about that stuff? Being able to say, I just want to see it. What do we got on the text line about any of our topics this morning, Connor?
So Larry from Delco checks in on the gambling conversation. He says, I am a gambler, but sports gambling ruins sports. It's the integrity of sports has been compromised with legalization of sports betting. Nobody wants to talk about it.
So, I mean, sports betting's always been around, legally or illegally. Like, it has. Like, has it really impacted sports? The only thing that it's impacted me is that it's everywhere. Right?
It is everywhere.
Like, in the middle of a Phillies game nowadays, they're doing this was our same-game parlay from before the game. Now, look, I'm going to the ball game tonight. Something I like to do is put down a bet to the game that I'm going at. Just a little extra added juice to the game that I'm going to. Nothing crazy.
Right.
A couple bucks here and there. So I'm participating in it.
Yeah, I like it.
So for me to say in one breath, it's just crazy how it's everywhere, I'm also a part of it. I endorse FanDuel. I love the FanDuel ad. It's great.
It's crazy how beer advertisements are everywhere. I'm still drinking beer. There are bad parts of it. Like, I don't know. There are also good parts of it.
Right.
Just pick what you enjoy and do it or don't do it. But I don't think it's compromised the integrity of sports. At least I don't feel that way right now. There is this murkiness, though, that comes with certain aspects of it that are being found out as it becomes more prevalent. So that's just something that we're going to have to see leagues and players and society adjust to.
I think like the one of the weirder ones is, and I don't bet on this stuff, like the people that bet on draft picks when a player will be selected, right?
Yeah, see, I think that stuff's silly. When people told me that you can actually do that,
right,
or even do heads or tails, before a Super Bowl,
well,
I'm
easy,
like, I didn't even know you could do that.
But now, hold on, let me ask you first and foremost: do you not bet on? Well, you don't bet. Period. Do you not bet on football because there's some sort of legality to it?
Yeah, I mean, from an integrity standpoint, it's just not something that I would ever consider doing. And you always got to be the consummate professional. I just also don't have any interest in it.
Right.
I work hard for my money, and I don't like throwing it away.
Right. I got you. Because I'm thinking about Shams. And if you guys remember, a few years ago, who was the kid that got drafted by the Hornets that he had some legal issues in college? I think he played for Oklahoma. I'll try to.
Wait, are you talking about Brandon Miller from Alabama?
Yes, Alabama. Thank you. The day before the NBA draft, Shams was like reporting that the Hornets weren't going to draft him or something. And if you looked at any of the sports books, all the odds changed because of it. Because he reported the number one NBA insider, it was him and Woj, reported that a team, I think if I have the story correct, the Hornets were not going to draft him. The next day, the Hornets drafted him. And so people were wondering, how is this guy? Because he wasn't, I don't even know if he was with ESPN yet. He was on like the FanDuel network. Shams was.
Oh, yeah. That was a while ago.
They found that kind of fishy. Like, wait a minute. He just told people this wasn't going to happen on this sportsbook's network. And then it did happen. And so now, look, I don't think you should be betting on where a guy's going to get drafted.
Yeah, but
That's
go to a damn casino and play blackjack and tell me how those dealers are getting 21 every day.
Right.
Like that's gambling. Everyone who loses is going to complain that something happened that was not in their favor. If you don't like that, don't gamble. But that's kind of always been part of the gig.
Yeah. Now the casinos, I make a rare exception, and I go in there with a certain amount in mind, and once I exceed that,
You a slots guy? You strike me as a slots guy.
He's not a slots
I'm
man.
not a slots
No,
man.
he's not. Come on. Do you think a football guy is
I'm actually insulted. I'm glad we have a glass between us.
What's wrong with slots? Slots can be fun.
I mean,
you want to play Buffalo?
Are you a mahjong guy?
I take a little bit more chances than you give me credit for.
Are you a mahjong guy?
No? I like Joker poker.
That's awesome, man.
Joker poker. I like blackjack.
All right, give us one more text message. Oh, we're getting the music. All right. Coming up next.
You know when we break.
I have until the 8:07:59. That's a whole minute. All right, coming up next. We'll sneak in a text message, and then it is today's headlines with Connor Thomas on this Monday morning. Johnny the K out on vacation all week long. Andrew Zucheko filling in for him today here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up at 2 o'clock on Unfiltered, Philadelphia Phillies had an interesting weekend. They take the series in Atlanta, but it was up and down. The bats go crazy on Friday night, then the bullpen, Jordan Romano, gives up that grand slam on Saturday, and then Ranger carries them to victory on Sunday. What do you make of this team? And Bryce Harper said something really interesting, that the Philadelphia Eagles being good actually helps the Phillies. Does it? All that coming up right after the Mike Missanelli Show on Unfiltered on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Making choices in the morning can be a bit much. I just want someone to say sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, sausage and cheese or egg and cheese English muffin, small seasoned potatoes or medium hot coffee. Get 2 for only $3. At Wendy's, fresh made food means simple choices. Dare we say it's even a little fun? Okay, not like roller coaster fun. There's only so much we can do, people. When you want less thinky and more brekky in the morning, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Hey, this is Andrew Salciunas.
I'm John Kincade.
This is Mike Missanelli.
Ricky Metallico here.
We've done some great work with businesses across the Delaware Valley.
Companies like Landis Block, Waste Management's Bagster, and Comcast Business.
We only endorse businesses and products that we truly use and value.
Think about the impact of hearing Fanatic personalities talking about your organization and driving customers to your company.
Go to 975thefanatic.com/advertise to learn more about how the Fanatic can help you market your products and services. Baseball season is in full swing, and we have you covered. All the Phillies conversation, analysis, and expert interviews you need are right here. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Wherever you are, the Kincade and Salciunas show is accessible. Did you know you can watch the show on YouTube right now?
You can listen to the show anywhere via 97.5thefanatic.com.
If you missed a show, then listen to the on-demand podcast or watch on YouTube.
And of course, we are live weekday mornings 6 to 10 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 8:11 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We have today's headlines with Connor Thomas coming up here in a few minutes. I gotta write this down. You guys made me think of a topic without even you doing it, Connor.
Oh, nice. What'd I do?
Later on the show, I want to try to figure this out. So we have a LeBron James topic on the table right now because he opted into his contract, $52.6 million, with the Lakers. But if the offseason doesn't go the way he wants it to, he may ask for a trade. Now, I don't even think he leaves L.A., but if he does, he does. I don't think he's coming here. But one of our topics today is, would that do anything for you, being able to say that LeBron James played for the Sixers? For me, it would. A, I don't think he stinks. B, I just think it would be cool to be able to say LeBron James played for the Sixers. Like, have you guys ever done a fantasy draft in, like, NBA 2K?
Yeah.
And you put LeBron James in a Sixers uniform?
It's
like,
pretty sick.
I've been doing that for 20 years, right? Because he's been in the league that long. Like, it's amazing. Like, that would be really cool for me. You told me that we have a ton of texts, all LeBron related. Some actually responding to the topic, some that are just upset that we brought up LeBron James because he is such a polarizing figure. Is there like 5 hot button players in this city that, like, if we just did a show on that person, we'd have conversations all day?
Embiid?
Hurts.
And is that it? Because, like, Harper, I don't think there's enough, like, detractors. Part of the reason what makes it hot button
Nola
is you have to have detractors. All right, Nola. But that's really it.
Yeah, there aren't that many.
And I'm talking about, like, there's nothing going on. There's no news. We come in here, it's a Wednesday in August, and I just say, let's talk about who are those players?
Paul George, you could probably throw on there.
Yeah,
I just don't know if he's been here long enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want Paul George here to begin with, but like he hasn't done anything for me to be like, oh, I have a reaction. I just didn't want him here.
I almost went with Paul George, Connor. We're like, I don't think he's been here long enough.
No, I'm just like scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
Because, again, all right, so you need detractors, but you also need defenders.
Yeah.
Like, who's defending Paul George?
Podcast community.
Yeah,
Jordan
exactly.
Romano.
Yeah. Well, but who's defending Jordan Romano? Like,
nobody's defended him.
Like, I wonder if we have 5 polarizing figures right now in this city. We'll get to that later on. But it is time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Brought to us by who?
Our friends over at Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Visit lundylaw.com. That's lundylaw.com. All right, so we're going to start out with this. I'm not sure if you guys saw this story. So the NBA draft was last week. I just saw it over the weekend, this story. So we're going to count it as relevant. Fair or foul? A guy shows up to the NBA draft. He's 7 feet tall. He was not a draft prospect. He's just a random dude. And he wore a suit and a Trailblazers hat and went around and was like convincing everybody that he got drafted by the Trailblazers. He's signing autographs. He's taking pictures and everything. Stolen NBA valor, or is that a great move if you're 7 feet tall?
Great move, because whenever you see a tall guy, you automatically think, did this guy or does this guy play basketball? Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone has that natural reaction. Like, we play pickup basketball. You see the tall kid, you go, oh, man, that guy's going to be good. And sometimes they're trash.
And this guy just leaned into it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is tremendous.
I give him credit. Remember the Klay Thompson guy?
Yeah, I was thinking about
literally got into the Oracle Arena, like past security because they thought it was Klay Thompson.
I was thinking about the Jalen Hurts lookalike guy that was wandering around the city for a little bit there.
He was a UPS driver.
Yeah, so it's just like, I love it. I don't know if anyone gets annoyed by that. It's like, oh, how dare you? But like, don't clutch your pearls at that. That's a great move.
I think it's good fun. I think if you overdo it,
don't become like the guy who like poses as because the Klay Thompson guy started doing it too many times.
The Andy Reid guy.
Yeah.
Like,
at the Super Bowl.
I get it. You look like Andy Reid. You have his mannerisms. It
was funny for one game in the crowd.
Like I'm now done with that guy. So I give that guy credit. If you use your height to your advantage, go for it. What else we got?
So we have a quasi-replay type situation here, something that we talked about last week. It was just fitting what happened over the weekend with the Fightin' Phils, a certain young player who we talked about with their power.
Otto Kemp slimes one out toward left center field. It's pretty well hit. Harris is on the run out to the wall. It's gone! The first major league home run for Otto Kemp.
Any updates to our conversation about Otto Kemp, the power hitter at the major league level?
I've watched pitchers hit home runs, dude.
Not
Randy Wolf.
Not allowed to anymore.
Like, I watched Robert Person hit 2 home runs in person, by the way.
Power hitters.
You were there for that?
Yes.
Robert Person, number 31.
That's great work by you. So last week, we were talking about the lineup because Dave Dombrowski talked about how Otto Kemp's, but I was like, that's not the pop. And I asked Connor, do you believe he's got pop at the major league level? And he couldn't answer the question.
I said it's too early to make that call through, at that point, 55 at-bats.
All right, well, then it's too early to call now that he hit a home run, right?
Yes. Thank you. That is my point.
To your logic.
I know that's my point the whole time. It's too early to know.
No, it's not. Otto Kemp will not be a power hitter in Major League Baseball at the age of 25, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He should retire at 25. Okay, so we haven't learned anything for Friday.
Dude,
that's not his DNA. That's not his makeup. I think we've seen enough now to reach that determination. Now,
what do you mean? You told me Max Kepler's a power hitter. He's got 9.
Yeah, you told us that. You lied.
You lied to us.
Power hitter, not a good hitter, but a power hitter.
He's not a power hitter. He's got no pop left.
He's not any hitter.
He's had 207.
All right, we'll round out with our replay from today's show.
Good for congratulations, Otto Kemp. Your enjoyment and entertainment when it comes to watching sports with the expectations that you have for teams.
Like, when I see this, the only thought that runs through my head where people get like so angry with teams day in and day out, it's just like, do you enjoy being a sports fan? Do you actually like this? It reminds me of the person who goes out on the golf course and just like throws their clubs and is always mad at every shot, and you're like an 18 handicap, like you're not good, and it's just like, why do you do this if you're not having fun? There's just so many fans sometimes to me. It feels like you do not have fun when you watch. Why do you keep subjecting yourself to this?
Because ultimately they love them. It's like it's the
love-hate thing.
Yeah, and we grew up with these teams. Like, you could tell when somebody recently got into sports, right? Like, because they don't get critical or something. Or there's the people that are just like green-colored glasses all the time. But the people that are grousing, it's because they ultimately love their teams. Like, that's the way that it is.
No, I get it, but do you love being a sports fan? You love the team and you want to see them win. You want the best from them because you deserve that. And that's all fair. But like on a random June Tuesday, the Phillies lose by like 1 run in a game that's ultimately not going to matter all that much. And that's why this team stinks. That's why they can't. Like, is this fun for you guys?
I don't think that it is all the time for people, no.
It should be. Sports are supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be entertainment. Don't forget why you like stuff in the first place, all right? That's all I'm trying to say.
I hear you, man. Shout out to Jim Foley on the YouTube chat saying, love you guys in the morning. We love you, Jim.
Appreciate it, Jim.
I like you as a friend and listener, Jim.
And Stanley asks, do I ever keep score in the scorebook when I go to the baseball game?
That's actually was going to be my next question. Or will your dad do that?
So we used to. When we did the 17 game plan, I thought it was really cool of my dad to do this. He's kept all the books. He would buy
That's
a new
awesome.
book for each season. So from 03 to 11, through 11, we would take notes. Do you even know how to do it?
I hate it. Yes, I know how to do it. I pitched out of the bullpen in college. I was forced to do it. I'll never do the book again.
I love the book, but when I go
screw the book.
Nowadays, when I'm just like going for a couple games here and there, obviously because of family stuff, not as much anymore. I just want to drink a cold beer.
I understand.
But
that, and I respect it.
The scorebook it's a beautiful thing.
Beer greater than book.
It's a nice little flair to add to the experience.
Absolutely, it is. All right, coming up next, we'll get to some of our text messages, but also Bryce Harper said something recently that I believe radio hosts say, that fans say, but I don't really ever remember a player being honest about this. The pressure that one team feels from another team's success. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils get back on track. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Braves down in Atlanta over the weekend. They win this series, coming off of that terrible series in Houston. This is the team getting a little bit more back on track than they were out in the Lone Star State. Ranger Suarez, dominant start yesterday for him. Again, his 10th straight quality start. His ERA is down to 2 even, and the Phils hold a 1.5 game lead in the NL East as the Mets got swept by the Pirates over the weekend. The Phils have another tough opponent in the series tonight. Back home at the bank, they will face the San Diego Padres. Game 1 is tonight at 6:35. Zach Wheeler faces Matt Waldron in the pitching matchup. It's Waldron's first appearance of the year. The Flyers made 9 selections over the weekend in the NHL draft. They drafted Porter Martone and Jack Nesbitt, a winger and a center, respectively, in the first round. We'll keep you updated as their offseason continues. Kelly Oubre picked up his player option for $8.4 million for the Sixers. Eric Gordon declined his, and the Sixers also chose to decline Lonnie Walker's team option in his contract, so a couple of roster moves for them. The Union fell to Columbus Crew 1-0 yesterday. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hall of Fame sports writer Jason Stark.
I think he's very focused on the fact that he needs to make the big move and it could get pricey. And he said, these are the times when you pay a little more. So I don't know exactly what that means, but, it's Nick Abel and one of his better prospects. I don't know exactly what that gets you, but gets you a pretty useful guy, I think.
Presented by Bet365. Every Wednesday on the Mike Missinelli Show. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's time for patio parties, backyard barbecues, and porch swings. But is your home ready? Our preferred pros can help turn your home into a summer oasis. From backyard decks to AC tune-ups and roof repairs, our preferred pros are ready to tackle all your home care needs. Call Preferred Pros today.
Got junk? We all do. The real question, who do you call? J-Dog Junk Removal. They make junk removal easy, stress-free, and hassle-free. Call or text 844-GET-JDOG today.
Volpe Enterprises. Say goodbye to roof leaks and hello to peace of mind. Call Volpe Enterprises now at 855-GO-VOLPE or visit online at govolpe.com.
Is your AC ready for warmer weather? Beat the heat with Ace Hardware Home Services. Same-day AC service from Philly to the Jersey Shore. Schedule at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
Philadelphia, Radnor, Allentown, and Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Michelle Ferreri, licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Philadelphia's station for breaking sports news. Powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 8:26 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, give us a couple of text messages, Connor. I want to hear from what the people are saying about any of our topics. And then there's an interesting Bryce Harper comment that was made. And I don't remember ever kind of hearing a player speak on this. And maybe it's been said before and I've just missed it, or I talked about it and I just forget about it. But something interesting that Bryce Harper had to say the other day. But what do we got on the text line, Connor? You can text the show at 610-632-0975.
All right, so we had Dave from Mount Laurel earlier who was saying he doesn't want LeBron here at the sideshow. This texter's taking it the other way, and they say, I would go crazy if LeBron came to Philly. In basketball years, he's old, but at the end of the day, he takes care of his body and put up nice numbers last season. And I also think that it would be cool to see LeBron James on the team that I root for.
And that's my point. Again, if you're just tuning in and you're wondering why, because we had a lot of people text in, why are you guys talking about LeBron James? LeBron James opted into his contract with the LA Lakers, but he's going to see how the offseason plays out. And if he doesn't believe that he's going to be playing for a title contender, he's going to request a trade. Do I believe that he will come to the Sixers? Absolutely not. I really don't believe it, like, even a little bit. But I can dream. And that's why one of our topics today is whether or not that does anything for you. Would it do anything for you to be able to say, I saw player X play for my team? We had Yager brought up as an example earlier today. Like, we saw Jaromir Yager wear the orange and black. Like, that's pretty freaking awesome. Even though it was for just one quick year, like, it was pretty cool to see him play for the Flyers. And, you know, right now, as we said earlier in the show, there's really only like 3 guys right now that are like the buzz names. You say the name and there's discourse about them because they're the star. They're a star player.
Oh, Rob Thompson.
No, I'm talking about players, but yes, but Rob Thompson
He counts.
as well. All right, sure. Sirianni could probably count as well.
Not anymore.
I don't know. I think there's people that still get bothered by him, dude.
Really?
Yeah, Bill and I got a call the other day about somebody thinking he was along for the ride. And we had to sit there and listen to that.
Yeah, and they don't like his personality. I mean, look, the reason why I say players, because I can do that on Dombrowski, I can do that on Morey.
That's fair.
I can do it on pretty much anybody, right, when it comes to front offices and coaches. But when it comes to the players, there's really only like 3 buzzword players right now in Philadelphia. Because Trey Turner's been playing so well this year, nobody can really complain about Trey Turner.
Alec Bohm,
maybe.
As I'm sitting here,
but imagine you're about to do a 4-hour show. Do you think you could talk about Alec Bohm for 4 hours?
Probably 2.
Like, I don't think I could.
No,
I could talk about Joel Embiid for 4 hours.
No, we're talking about the big guys,
right?
Yeah.
Like I know how that conversation can go both positively and negatively. There's only a couple of them, and like if LeBron came here, like that would be nuts. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Would I love to say I got to watch LeBron James play for the Philadelphia 76ers? Absolutely, I would love to say that. All right. Do you have any idea when this was said, Connor, this Bryce Harper comment?
I think it might have been. He was wearing like the Phillies Friday night, the City Edition jersey. Hat.
Okay. Because it was at Citizens Bank Park, but they've been away.
Yeah, so it was probably the last Friday night home game, would be my guess.
Because I just saw it posted on NBC Sports Philadelphia this morning. The article was, or the clip was like 15 hours old from when the time it was posted on the website, but I saw it this morning when we were prepping the show. And so Bryce Harper was talking about John Middleton and, just how great it is to have a good owner and all that kind of stuff. And you'll hear him talk a little bit about Middleton, but what I really want to talk about is what he says in the back half of this clip, and I don't really remember a player talking about this before. Take a listen to Bryce Harper from what we guess was 2 Fridays ago.
It's just such a great place to play. We all enjoy it so much, and being able to have an owner that really buys in each year is huge for us, and not many teams do that each year. And to have a guy that wants to win and understands the kind of the feel and the heartbeat of the city also, it helps that the Eagles are good too, because we kind of fight against them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And it's great. Like, we support them, they support us, but it's that back and forth of like, hey, they're good, we got to be good too. So, they were able to win it this year, and hopefully we could, kind of follow that footstep a little bit.
I don't think I've ever heard a player say that.
No.
Like, it's one thing for us as sports talk radios to say, like, man, look at all the publicity the Eagles are getting. I bet you other teams would want to be talked about on the air. Oh, why do you guys talk about the Eagles all the time? Why? Because they're the best team in town. Like,
easily.
We talked about the Flyers draft earlier today. We talked about the Sixers draft last week. And yet we still found a way to mix the Eagles into a conversation because they're the best team in town. They deserve the publicity that they get. And people love the Eagles in this town. But I don't think I've ever heard a player, maybe a front office because they want money, like an owner wants their team to compete with the Eagles because if the Eagles are really good, people spend their money on Eagles gear. They spend their money on Eagles tickets. They spend their money on road trips, Philly sports trips, going to Eagles games.
I mean, hell, you hear Eagles chants at Phillies games.
Yeah, exactly. But the amount of money that's spent by somebody because the Eagles are good then diminishes how much money they can spend on the Phillies, the Flyers, and the Sixers. So front offices realize this. I don't think I've ever heard a player talk about it that way before. And I love it.
No, I haven't either. But I think when you really take a step back and think about it, if you're competitive and you have a lot of pride in what you do and you see all of the accolades that the Eagles get, you know, if you're Bryce Harper, or Zach Wheeler, I mean, you want to be part of that conversation. You want a piece of the pie. You want to be sort of heralded in that same degree.
They saw that parade.
And it's a healthy competition. Mm-hmm. And I think if you poll a lot of these athletes in the city, I'm sure that you would get a lot of the same.
Now, what I'm fascinated by, or just intrigued by, I guess I should say, maybe not fascinated. Maybe that's too far. We have had this conversation before, Connor, on the air with John and with our audience. I'm somebody that the Eagles can win the Super Bowl, and the next day the Sixers lose, and I'm upset with the Sixers. Like, they're separate teams. Even though they all play for Philadelphia, two of them play in the same building. Like, I can be thrilled to the moon one day, and the next day be upset about, man, is Max Kepler really the big offseason signing? Right? The Super Bowl was right around when spring training was going on. And I'm looking at the Phillies roster going, so this is it, huh? Like, this is all right. Yeah, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. I'm thrilled about that, but I'm not thrilled about this. I can separate them. There are a lot of people in this city that say, Connor, how many times have you read the text message? The Eagles won the Super Bowl, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care that the Sixers were in a bad place last year. They don't care that the Phillies are up and down this year and have a lot of holes on their roster because they think about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, and they think about how the Eagles will be good again this year. Bryce Harper, the player, is saying that that's not necessarily the best mindset to have, but the mindset should be, I got it with this team, I now want it with that team. I find that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's the way it should be. They should want to be a part of it. I don't know. Like, my biggest argument always on that conversation of like, oh, the Eagles won, we're good, is just, it's not as black and white as like, Eagles win, I don't care about the other teams. It's just, Eagles win, my mood improves in general. And when my mood improves in general in other parts of my life, I take other things that would bother me more and they bother me less because I'm just naturally a happier person in that moment. And that's what the Eagles Super Bowl did for me. So that's just where I think a lot of this fan base is betting points.
Now, I'll ask you, what if the Eagles win, let's see, Sunday Night Football in December, and the Sixers have lost like 8 straight games? Like, that doesn't do it? Like, you don't get bothered by the Sixers?
I would care less, like slightly, because I'd just be in a better mood because the Eagles are winning. Like, I don't know, when more good things happen to me, I'm a happier person, and it makes the bad things seem less bad. I think that's a normal human reaction. And it doesn't have to do with, like, oh, I'm complacent with the other team. It's just, I don't know, if the Eagles put me in a good mood, they're 1-1 in this town, then I'm a happier person overall. I don't know.
I get what he's saying.
I know, I do too. And, like, on the air, like, from a job standpoint, the next day we're talking about that Eagles game. We're not talking about the Sixers' 8th straight loss.
Right. If we need someone to complain, that's why you and John are here.
But, like, if the Eagles win at 1 o'clock and there's a marquee matchup Sunday night for basketball with the Sixers and they lose, like, I'll be upset by
big games, but I'm just saying overall, generally.
The Eagles set the standard.
They absolutely do. All right, coming up next, we'll get some more text messages on our topics, but also, every once in a while, I like to think how we in Philadelphia would react if something that was said and done that happened elsewhere, like what if that happened here? There was a tone-deaf comment of all tone-deaf comments over the weekend that didn't happen here, and I just wonder how we would react to it. We'll talk about it next. It's Kincade Salciunas. Andrew DeCecco in for John today, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
The Phillies are 34-2 when they have the lead after 6. They're 40-1 when they have the lead after 7, and they're 41-0 when they have the lead after 8. So we talk about the back end of the bullpen, right? So far, they've been okay.
Yeah, it's incredible because the conversation we have about this bullpen, and you look at the bullpen CRA, I think it was in the 20s, mid-20s in baseball. It's not great, but somehow, some way, they find a way to get it done.
The Mike Missanelli Show, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey guys, Angela, let's talk about your house. Summer, it's here. So soon you're going to be taking trips, right? Maybe you're going to your favorite restaurants. Maybe you're getting ice cream, or maybe you're going on the week-long vacation, right? Johnny is out and about right now. Let's face it. While you're doing all these things, spending all this money, you're probably ignoring some other issues that are going on around your house. Oh, I'll take care of that cracked drywall another time because I want to take care of the expenses of this vacation. I get it. I do it too. Maybe you've ignored those drywall cracks, uneven sagging or bouncing floors, sticking windows and doors, bugs, pests, wet basement, heightened indoor allergies, mold and mildew smells. If you're ignoring all of these issues or one of these issues, it tells you that you have something going on with your crawl space or your basement. Don't worry. With a free inspection from Groundworks, you can find out what you need to do to protect your home and your family by pinpointing your home's issues at the source. That's what they do. They find out exactly what the problem is. They'll tell you what happened that led to this issue and how they're going to fix it. And the best part about Groundworks is that they have flexible financing options for you so that you can take advantage of saving the money that you still want to spend elsewhere. So even though you might be ignoring some of these issues because you have an upcoming vacation, they will work with you so that you still have that money for your vacation. They want you to feel comfortable when fixing your problem and also making a solid investment toward your home's future. Just visit groundworks.com today and schedule these local experts to come out and take a look. That's groundworks.com. Groundworks, there's a reason why they're the trusted local experts.
With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and advanced fiber solutions, Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. Powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card. Call today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Other restrictions apply.
Guys, at Iron Mountain Men's Health, we help men of all ages reach their peak potential. Hi, this is Dr. Avidan Appel. Whether it's erectile dysfunction or low testosterone, we specialize in providing personalized treatments and custom care. In fact, over 95% of our patients experience successful outcomes, even when other treatments haven't worked. Strong sexual health is often an indicator of overall health. Let's help you rise to every occasion, whether it's in the weight room, the boardroom, or the bedroom. Your peak potential awaits. Visit IronMountainMen'sHealth.com today.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Wherever you are, we are. Online at 975thefanatic.com, on the Fanatic app, and on air. Keeping you informed on your favorite sports teams with insight and perspective you need to hear. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 975 The Fanatic and 975thefanatic.com. Coming up at 10, Mike Missanelli. This is Philadelphia Sports Talk with Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 8:41 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, we'll get to these text messages here momentarily, but every once in a while, you know how we do the whole, it could be worse. Like, we could be fans of the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
Or the Colorado Rockies.
They
right?
do have a guy, the White Sox have a pitcher named Johnny Cannon. So I was thinking about switching allegiances just on that name
Just
alone.
because of the name?
But anyway.
I understand.
Strong name.
What was the guy with the Mets? I liked his name. Blade
Tidwell.
Blade Tidwell.
Blade, yeah.
I hate the Mets, but Blade Tidwell is a strong name.
Yeah, if I couldn't be named Andrew and I had to be anything else, it would be Blade.
Blade DeCecco.
It's a sick name.
Sounds great.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a hockey name.
So the Mavericks had their introductory press conference with Cooper Flagg over the weekend after the NBA draft concluded. And Nico Harrison is the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks, and he was the one that conducted the Luka Doncic trade, sending Luka Doncic to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and really nothing else. Like Luka could have gotten them 8 first-round picks, and they didn't get that. And so Nico Harrison had the balls to say in his press conference this past weekend that he believes people are starting to see the vision. My man. Now, this could have happened, but unless Adam Silver said to you, make this trade and I give you the first overall pick, which that could have happened, there was no vision. Making that trade did not guarantee you the number 1 overall pick. They won a coin flip that got them into the NBA draft lottery.
Right.
Maybe a double-sided coin, but
I was going to say, don't rule out that possibility.
I get it. Tinfoil cap theories are really fun to think about. But imagine if we had a GM in this town that traded away a fan favorite and then lucked into something and then tried saying this was all a part of the vision. I would lose my damn mind.
It's like they're nudging you, saying, see, this is what I had planned all along.
The Mavericks might be in a good place. They got Cooper Flagg. Kyrie's locked up once he comes back from his injury. Sure, they do have a nice little future. But before you got the number 1 overall pick,
They were floundering.
you had no standing to say what he just said this past weekend. I would freak out.
You would also probably fry him over the airwaves.
Absolutely. Like, it would ruin the enjoyment of the Cooper Flag. Like, Nico Harrison saying that takes away from Cooper Flag being introduced as the number 1 overall pick of the Dallas Mavericks. Saying something that stupid and that off base.
Yeah, I mean, it's irresponsible, and I don't know how you can sell your fan base on that. Like, what do you take them as?
What vision?
I mean, come on, you had no vision.
No.
You lucked into it. Well, maybe he was handed it.
Maybe he had a vision.
Yeah, honestly.
Maybe he had a vision, but you can't say that.
No, you can't. You had no idea what you were doing. You made a bad decision, and you ended up getting lucky because
they got
of it.
so lucky.
It's insulting to say that for to that fan base.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what do we got on the text line on any of our topics this morning, Mr. Thomas?
We have something because in headlines we brought up the Otto Kemp first career home run. Just a sicko baseball text of a name here, but this texter says Carlos Zambrano has more power than half this lineup.
Wow, that's a great
baseball text.
And if I see a Carlos Zambrano text, I'm going to read it.
Yeah, I agree. Carlos Zambrano has more Major League home runs than Otto Kemp.
That's correct. Power hitting pitcher, baby.
So does Randy Wolf. So does Robert
That's
Person.
what I'm saying. Hitting 1 home run does not make you a power hitter.
I know.
You were the one saying it.
My point is to say, no, Dave Dombrowski said it. My point is that it's too early.
No, it's not too early.
We also have a text here from Joe the Cynic saying, anyone concerned that if you chirp on the Phillies roster, you get your way? That's 2 guys in 2 weeks that have not been out of a game. Thompson is coming off very soft.
Yeah, so the Kepler one, I was just furious because he stunk and he opened up his mouth. The Nick Castellanos one was bench worthy. Even though we don't know what was said, the fact that it led to a benching, it was probably
pretty bad.
Pretty bad. For Rob Thompson to bench him, it must have been pretty bad. But what Mike Missanelli was saying the next day, even though Topper did say to the media that he was not going to do that night, now that a couple of games have gone by, if you believe you should make the defensive replacement, you got to do it.
That's your job as a manager.
Yeah.
To make those tough calls, not to cater to his players. And I think he made the right call that day. You have to take a stance. You have to be authoritative, and you have to let everyone else know that this is not acceptable behavior. But that's past. But the Kepler situation is interesting because now it feels like they're at a crossroads because obviously, okay, he said those comments. He's not producing. I think now is when you make that call. You say, listen, we're going to sit you down because maybe, who knows, maybe the Phillies don't view him as part of their plans this season.
They might not.
They might not. That's the reality of it.
He is not a lock to be on this roster August 1st.
He can't be. He can't be. He can't be a lock.
I think he is.
All right. If they acquire like a legitimate, let's say again, my late at night Hayes conversation to myself. Harper moves to the outfield. Castellanos goes from right to left. Unless Kepler's playing center field all of a sudden for you, he's not platooning with Harper. You're not platooning with Castellanos. Castellanos cried because he got taken out of a game in the 7th inning. You think you're going to platoon the 2 of them?
Yeah, if Harper goes to the outfield, I understand it more. I don't know how realistic of a thing
Let's
that
say Harper
is.
doesn't go to the outfield. And you bring in a guy like Taylor Ward that Ray Dunn first brought to my attention.
There's also Justin Crawford.
Yeah.
Who could enter the mix
He
here.
could. I mean, if I'm just saying as of right now, because who knows who can become available in the next month. It's still a month away, the trade deadline. If they acquire somebody that is considered an everyday left fielder, he has done nothing to be considered a part of their plan.
I understand, but the thing that people are missing in all of this is they don't really have other great options. It's not like you can bring somebody else, and Justin Crawford is a really good option, I think, deeper into the season. But think about the other guys that you have on this team right now in the outfield.
Okay.
There's not a lot of depth there.
But if you acquire somebody that becomes the starting left fielder, if Max Kepler is bitching now about not getting consistent playing time because he sat 2 games because he can't hit left-handed pitching, You think he's going to be quiet if he's being told, hey, we got a better option? You're going to be
I don't know.
Our fourth outfielder?
If he complains about playing time and the team trades for a better left fielder, then move on. But
which is why I'm saying, as of right now, there is no guarantee that he is on this baseball team post-trade deadline.
Look at Whit Merrifield from last season.
If you acquire somebody that you think is better for the team, and if he's going to put up a stink, you're going to DFA him. So I'm not wrong in saying there's no guarantee right now.
Yes, that's fair. Okay.
And he has no reason to really sound off. And you bring up an interesting point, because now you want to see, if they do acquire somebody, what's his body language like? What's the demeanor like and all of that? Because obviously it's not worth anywhere close to the potential distraction that it could be.
Yeah, because he's not providing you all that much to begin with. All right, coming up next, we will reset our topics. Also, in the spirit of Joel Embiid, LeBron James, and Paul George, and could you make it work and all that kind of stuff, even though I don't believe that it will. One NBA reporter put out an article about how each team in the NBA can ace their offseason. So I'll read to you what they wrote about the Sixers and how there's still a chance that Paul George could be on the move. This one I hadn't heard until this morning. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils take down the Braves. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Braves down in Atlanta over the weekend. Ranger Suarez dominant yesterday in the series finale. He's got 10 straight quality starts. His ERA is down to 2 even. He's been on a heater right now, and the Phils hold a 1.5-game lead in the NL East as the Mets got swept by the Pirates. The Phillies do have another tough series starting tonight, though. San Diego is in town, and Game 1 against the Padres is this evening at 6:35 p.m. Zach Wheeler will be on the mound for the Titans. Matt Waldron for the Padres, and it's Waldron's first appearance of the year, so hopefully the Phils can take advantage. The Flyers made 9 selections over the weekend in the AHL draft, adding a lot to their budding liners, including winger Porter Martone and center Jack Nesbitt in the first round. We'll keep you updated as their offseason continues. In Sixers roster news, Kelly Oubre picked up his player option for $8.4 million for the upcoming season. Eric Gordon declined his. The team also declined Lonnie Walker, the fourth team option. The Union fell to Columbus Crew 1-0 yesterday. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Vacation? Business trip? Don't worry. You can still hear all your favorite Fanatic shows no matter where you go. The 97.5 The Fanatic app. Philly sports in the palm of your hand. Listen to our 24/7 live stream. Get up to the minute Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, and Union commentary.
Head to Google Play or the Apple App Store now and download our free app.
It's a fact, Jack. Gary Barbera is back with his big Auto Palooza. Get ready, Freddie. Employee pricing plus 0% financing back at Barbera. You don't love it? Bring it back. Stan, that's the plan from the man. Philly, South Jersey, I'm talking to you. Are you listening? We're ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. You don't love your new deeply discounted Dodge, Chrysler, or cheap Jeep? Bring it back to Barbera. Hank, take it to the bank. Lee, can you see? Get your butt to Gary Barbera's #1 Chrysler land, #1 Jeep land, Borbeck and the Boulevard in the great Northeast. Low employee pricing, 0% financing. You don't love your new car? Bring it back. During our big Auto Palooza, is Barbera the best? Hey, Les. Boy, I guess.
Tax eggs and 422 doc fees on approved credit with proper down payment. Call or click 1-800-Barbera.com for details.
Coach Sirianni, is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Go Birds! Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or place stop to opt out.
Ugh, why does my bank always charge me fees?
That's because your bank is trash. Ever heard of Current? You could get a paycheck advance up to $750 if you qualify.
Wait, $750? Like before payday?
Exactly. It's your money, just early. Set up an eligible direct deposit. See if you qualify, and that's it.
So what's the catch?
No catch. No overdraft fees, no annual fees. And you can build your your credit without falling into debt.
Wow, I needed this like yesterday. What do I do?
Text them. That's it.
To get started with Current, text free to 323232. That's free to 323232.
Banking services provided by Choice Financial Group and/or Cross River Bank, both members FDIC. Paycheck advance provided by Fineco Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Product eligibility, availability, and performance may vary and are subject to change at any time. Using your credit card responsibly may allow you to improve your credit score. For details on cost, terms, and conditions, visit current.com or call 1-888-851-3177.
Demand Rand. Thousands of innocent people get hurt every day. And what's worse, they think the insurance company will take care of them. Give me a break. Get an aggressive lawyer on your side.
Call 1-800-90-LEGAL. Insurance companies aren't in the business of helping you. They're in the business of saving themselves money. Low ball offers and endless delays. Demand Rand. He gets you paid. Call 1-800-90-LEGAL. 1-800-90-LEGAL.
Tie your laces and get ready for Nemours Children's Health Kids Run the Bases. Kids 14 and under can join us post-game on Wednesday, July 2nd after the Phillies play the Padres at 1:05. Visit Phillies.com to order tickets today.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 8:55 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew DeCecco in for Johnny today. John is off for the week on vacation. Andrew's filling in for John today and Friday. So Connor's going to be sitting next to me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'm off Friday because that's July 4th. And it's the very strategic taking off July 4th and the week after.
That's a great move. I might sit across from you, though, not next to you. I don't know. You kinda weird me out.
That's a veteran move.
It's a veteran move. It's
Yeah,
the extra
it's
day.
really the only play.
It's playing off of 10 days rest. You know, like that's what it is. I'm coming back after 10 days rest. It's great.
I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed that you crafted it like that.
Oh man. You'll learn one day. I'll teach you a thing or two. All right. Before we get back to our topics and our text messages, so ESPN did the every team how they can ace their offseason article. All right, and they had different people chime in for each team. Obviously, I'm just going to look at the Sixers. Now, I don't know who Cram is. Damn keyboard here and the stick. People got to stop eating while doing the show. My God.
Yeah.
Zach Cram. Never heard of him.
I can't say that I have.
Sorry. I work with ESPN nowadays, so maybe I'll meet Zach Cram soon. But Zach Cram did the write-up for the Sixers. So how they can ace their offseason. 3 bright spots emerged from the 76ers' otherwise rotten season. Jared McCain, who led all rookies in points per game. Quentin Grimes, who averaged 21.9 points per game after arriving in a midseason trade. And Gershon Yabusele, who was a strong all-around contributor in his return to the NBA. McCain will be back next season after tearing a meniscus, but Philadelphia must be proactive to retain the other 2. Grimes is a restricted free agent, and Yabusele is an unrestricted free agent. So Grimes, I think they get done. Yabusele, I don't know if they do. I don't know what his market is.
Yeah, but they have to get that one done, it feels like. He would bolster that lineup and really round it out.
If he's
Grimes
gone, if he's gone, they don't have a strike. They don't have a 4.
They literally don't have one. But Grimes feels like a slam dunk. No pun intended. Because if you listen to what Daryl Morey had to say,
he literally had him in there.
He mentioned him there, so he's part of the plans.
Yeah. So I feel very comfortable saying Grimes will be back. I don't feel so comfortable with Yabusele, but I don't know what his market is. Like, are there teams clamoring to give a guy that had a very productive return back to the NBA for a very bad team? Like, is he getting some 3-year, $80 million contract from somewhere? Like,
I don't see that.
I don't know. I don't know what his contract's looking like. So then they continue and say one move that they should make. Now, this is one that I have not even thought about. As you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Zach Cram writes, beyond re-signing Grimes and Yabusele, the 76ers could take a bigger swing by building a trade around Paul George. 4, Michael Porter Jr. He writes that this deal would make sense for both sides. The Nuggets have been interested in George before. I don't remember that.
Me either.
The Denver Nuggets being interested in Paul George.
Maybe he was when he was on like the Pacers.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And he'd give them a higher ceiling around Nikola Jokic while the 76ers would get younger and gain future financial flexibility with Porter. After how George's first season in Philadelphia went, the team should pursue a reset if possible, which I completely agree with. I didn't want it to begin with. I just don't remember the Nuggets' interest in Paul George.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Now, Michael Porter Jr., he's a interesting prospect because, remember, he was going to go really high in the draft. He dropped to 10 because of the back injuries. He's an NBA champion, but he's a guy that he's like Kelly Oubre. The ball goes in his hand, that ball's being shot. Like
no patience.
Like he's not he's not passing the rock.
He's going Philip Seymour Hoffman from Long Game Power.
Right, exactly. Now he can shoot it a little bit, but he's not the player that I think a lot of people expected he could have been coming out of the draft. But he's a career 40% three-point shooter, and he shot 39% last year, 39% the year before, 41% the year before that. Like, he's consistently a pretty good three-point shooter. He averaged 18 a game for the Nuggets last year. Again, if I can get off of Paul George's contract, I'm open to anything.
In that scenario, I think you do it. If that were a realistic scenario that poses itself, yes. Because when I look at this roster, Andrew, the biggest question I have isn't necessarily the availability of Joel Embiid. It's Paul George, and is he invested? Is he going to give you what you need? Is he going to help the young players come along?
Right.
I don't know. That's the biggest question that I have for the Sixers team, because everyone talks about Joel Embiid. No one is talking as much about Paul George, and that's a big question for me.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And ultimately, here's how it works out. If you make that trade, you have 2 seasons left of Michael Porter Jr., however you feel about him. You have 2 seasons of him. Whereas you have 3 seasons left of Paul George. So ultimately, you're just subtracting a year off of a contract that you may not totally want.
Right. He's also, like I said, he played 41 games last season, Paul George. You don't know what the investment is. And then also, you also have to worry about, be cognizant of the fact that he does get injured. I would try to move off of that, whenever you can, if you have that opportunity.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard of that one.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that anywhere either. I don't know why the Nuggets would do that, but who knows?
I don't know. Maybe for defensive purposes, because Paul George is still a good defender and Nikola Jokic is not, as we know. Like, he can't play a lick of defense. But again, what do you want around Jokic? You want guys that cut, and you want guys that can shoot and hit the three. Michael Porter Jr. shoots 40% from three. Like, that guy drops dimes left and right.
Right. So it would be counterproductive.
I guess.
Especially after you just took that great Thunders team to 7 in the postseason.
Unless they're tired, because I know there are people. If you just read Denver stuff or whatever, there are people that are tired of Michael Porter Jr. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but this Paul George one, that's a new one. I would do it though, because it's just I'm getting a year off of the book.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me.
And to your point, the games played, Michael Porter Jr. played 77 last year, 81 the year before that, 62 the year before that.
You love the availability.
Yeah.
You at least know you have a piece that's going to work with and not necessarily grow with the young nucleus that they have, but can be a reliable presence night in and night out.
Yeah, I find that pretty interesting. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
Speaking of the Sixers, we have a check-in on the LeBron thing and how it could affect the Sixers. And this texter says, not everyone cares about LeBron. I personally couldn't care less what he does or where he goes. Retire, stay in L.A., go to Philly, don't care. The Sixers will suck either way as long as the anchor named Embiid is weighing them down.
There it is.
Yep. Look, the
buzzword.
And I can't blame anyone for feeling that way. I don't. as much as I love Joel Embiid, I don't blame anybody for feeling a certain type of way.
No, you can't. I mean, I don't know if you heard Unfiltered on Tuesday where Ricky and I were battling with Bill because Bill was looking at it from an optimistic standpoint about...
we did a whole show on it the next day.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. He called
and
in the show.
I brought you up because your reaction was like, nah, I don't really feel that.
I was like, that is an insane position to take. And then we were it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
But, I understand why folks would be not necessarily pessimistic, but be, as I view it, a realist of this season.
And that's why when Bill calls in, he goes, I know it's a pipe dream. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah, yes, it is. And then later on in the week, he was sort of dropping a trail mix on the ground where it was like, you're coming over to our side now. I was like, he said, Embiid lumbering down the field, down the court rather.
Yeah.
And maybe slowing up the young guns.
Team,
yeah.
Which is why I keep on saying Embiid being the second option might not be a horrible thing. All right, what else we got?
All right, Edwin checks in. He says, just listen to the name LeBron James. The name speaks for itself. You're talking about arguably the greatest player to ever play the game, playing in the city you live in and the team you root for. I'd never shut up about it. I'd be able to say the man who made me fall in love with the game, arguably the greatest player of all time, was the Sixers. So, yeah, it does something for me.
It does. Honestly, again, we're talking about a probably very little likely chance of this happening. LeBron James coming
less than 1%.
Yeah, less than 1%. I'll go with you there. But it then led to the conversation of, does that kind of stuff matter to you? Being able to see a generational player play for your team. Now, again, it would be on the tail end of it. Still at a high level. Still 25-8, right? He's still playing at a high level. But it would mean something to me to be able to say, I saw LeBron James play for the Sixers.
And when you talk about the enjoyment that comes with sports, that's all tied into it. It's all intertwined. And that would be something that you always remember. I mean, you oftentimes will tell me about different sporting events that you've been to, going to see, I believe it was LeBron. Or you went to go see, you saw Jordan.
I saw Jordan.
You saw Jordan.
When he was with the Wizards. My dad took me just to say that I saw Jordan.
And that's something that you can take Cooper
too? Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that you'll always have that memory. So that's all tied in with sports and how things will be remembered.
Like when he gets inducted in the Hall of Fame, first ballot, man, he played for our team. That means, now as long as it's not sad, and that's one of the caveats I have. As long as it's not a guy that's coming here for one more paycheck. Football's different.
Well, that's the caveat.
Right. Football's different, but I can't imagine that a Bears fan was we signed Jason Peters. If anything, it was sad when Jason Peters was still playing.
Yeah, obviously he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but obviously there's a steep decline in play.
Or it turns into the Rodgers thing.
Yeah, that's that's a great example.
Staying too long at the party, man.
Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler. 5 years ago, maybe that means something. Not so much anymore. Whereas LeBron still plays at a high level, even though there are people that don't like LeBron for whatever reason. All right, coming up next, I read an article, actually, a title of an article, and I refused to click the link of it. Connor says he's interested in this. We'll tell you what next. We'll see if anyone cares. And then we'll turn it into a conversation that will probably end up being more enjoyable. Please don't leave us. It's Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you, so text us at 610-632-0975.
You text every day, so why not text us?
Your opinion matters. Shoot us a text at 610-632-0975.
Don't want to call? You can always text us. You've got our direct line, so text us anytime.
On a plane? Text us. On a train? Text us.
At the game? Text us.
Driving a car? Yeah, pull over, then text us. In a bar? Text us. 610-632-0975.
97.5 The Fanatic.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's time for patio parties, backyard barbecues, and porch swings. But is your home ready? Our preferred pros can help turn your home into a summer oasis. From backyard decks to AC tune-ups and roof repairs, our preferred pros are ready to tackle all your home care needs. Call Preferred Pros today.
Is your AC ready for warmer weather? Beat the heat with Ace Hardware Home Services. Same-day AC service from Philly to the Jersey Shore. Schedule at AceHardwareHomeservices.com.
Pool Designs turns your backyard into the ultimate summer escape. Get your new pool installed in just one day. Spots are limited. Don't wait. Visit poolinaday.com. That's poolinaday.com.
Great Railing in Williamstown is now the largest Trex dealer in the United States and has Trex on sale for $1.89 per foot. GreatRailing.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Demand Rand. I'm Rand Spear. I've seen insurance offers of a couple $1,000 turn into a couple $1 million. Don't settle for less. The choice is clear. Demand Rand.
You heard Rand. Call 1-800-90-LEGAL. Insurance companies want to pay you pennies, but you deserve big money. Medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. Rand will fight for every dollar. Don't wait. Get paid. Call now. 1-800-90-LEGAL.
Mike Missanelli and Ray Dunn. They have a lot to say about Philadelphia sports. The big stories you want to hear about. The Mike Missanelli Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
The final hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
All right, it is 9:12 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew DeCecco filling in for John Kincade. I love you, Andrew, because you and I see life a lot alike.
We do. I think that's why we get along so well. Also, we deliver the smart conversation.
Damn right, we do smart, intelligent, focused conversation. Our boss, Scott Missanelli, would love those things.
He would be proud.
So, you and I had the exact same reaction to the headline of an article that I refused to click the link on. Now, I did it for show purposes because this is a show of unison. And Connor Thomas was interested in it.
Hell yeah.
This is why Andrew and I get along a lot. Connor and I sometimes. So on Fox Sports, here is the title of the headline. Football or football. Making the best soccer team of NFL players.
That's sick. I love it.
That's lame. I hate it.
I despise it. I understand that in June, especially the tail end of June, it is a little bit more difficult to come up with daily content when it comes to a sport that is off the grid right now, right? For 6 weeks from OTAs to
July 22nd.
July 22nd, thank you, training camp. They're off the map. And I get it. The Aaron Rodgers saga is over and the tush-push saga is over. But because of so much tush-push conversation and Rodgers conversation, I imagine that there's a lot of stuff that they still have left in the bank that they could write about before making the best soccer team of NFL players.
And it's totally out of left field. And you're right. You know, this is a time where we have to put our thinking caps on and get a little bit creative, but deliver that compelling content because there's plenty of different areas you can explore. And you're comparing two different. I mean, like I just don't. I don't get the point.
This does nothing for me. Now this does something for Connor.
Yeah, I like it.
So Connor, to appease you, I will go through it.
Hell yeah.
I hope that everybody on our YouTube chat says this is stupid. Why are we doing this?
Tyreek Hill? Is he on the team?
All right, your strikers. Justin Jefferson and Puka Nacua.
Ooh, I like that.
Sure.
Why? Because they're playmakers. Plain and simple.
That's true. They are.
Man, that's hard-hitting analysis.
Midfielders. Saquon.
Oh, Saquon's on the team.
Lamar. Antoine Winfield Jr. and Jahmyr Gibbs. Why? Because midfielders need to have vision and speed. They also have stamina, and they need the burst. Defenders. I'm rolling my eyes for YouTube. There's people listening that can't get that. Defenders. Patrick Surtain. George Kittle. Kyle Hamilton. Derek Stingley Jr. Why? Because defenders need to have length, which lends itself to the same in American football. This group is mostly made of long, rangy defensive backs that can counter any offensive attacks.
It's a good team so far. I like this.
I threw in...
Like, what am I going to do? Say, why Derek Stingley and why not Quinyon Mitchell?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It's a good question. We can debate it.
Goalkeeper, Myles Garrett.
Oh, I don't like that.
My eyes lit up when I thought of this one. Myles Garrett is a freak athlete and takes up a ton of space.
Ooh.
Wow.
Riveting.
Respectfully to Carmi, who wrote this, congratulations that it got read in Philadelphia's Sports Talk Radio, though in a mocking way. So the beauty is, because Andrew and I are true football guys.
You're damn right.
You then followed up with, I would rather make an All-NFC team on June 30th than how a football team can be made, a soccer team can be made of football players.
I just think it's more practical, and I feel like you're going to, your audience is going to find that more riveting than this equation. I mean, I don't know. It's just me.
Even if you're not riveted by it, you can understand the conversation.
You can at least understand the concept. It may not grab you in any
None of this
meaningful
makes
way,
sense. None of this makes sense. Oh, why?
It's
Because
preposterous.
they're playmakers.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just the dumb content that draws me in.
I bet you there is a football player that played some high level of soccer that's probably going, how come I wasn't on this? I actually played.
Eli Ricks really likes soccer.
Yeah, maybe Eli Ricks could be on it.
I was going to say, you talk about lengthy defenders. Why not put Eli Ricks in there?
That's motivation for his year with the Eagles, that he didn't make the NFL soccer team.
He'll have that article printed out and put on his mirror or something like that.
No, it's just like that's a very Instagram Reels type of article where it's just like, I don't really have interest in this guy throwing a ping pong ball around for the next minute of my life or something, but I'm just going to watch it because, I don't know, I'm stupid.
You're interested by trash like that.
Yeah. I love it. A lot of people are.
But, I'm not surprised.
Who's
that
a
you
lot
like
of people?
People with too much time on their hands and not enough brain cells. And I fit right there.
As soon as Andrew read the title, I said, Connor, in my mind, I said, Connor would probably like this.
Yeah, it's fun.
I knew what Andrew's opinion was already before we even talked about it.
I am one of the most boring people on this planet. That is not fun.
Well, you wouldn't know what fun is then.
Oh, okay.
I'm a fun guy.
So here's what we're going to do.
Shout out Kawhi Leonard.
I'd rather have a root canal than read that.
We will build the All-NFC team coming up next. How many Eagles make it on our respective lists? We'll go through it coming up next. It's Kincade and Salciunas. Andrew DeCecco in for John today. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Up State.
The Phils take 2 of 3 in Atlanta. I'm Connor Thomas, and over the weekend, the Phils won a series over the Braves down there in Georgia. Ranger Suarez had a great start in the series finale yesterday. It's his 10th straight quality start he put out on the mound. ERA is down to 2 even for Ranger. The Phils hold a 1.5 game lead in the NL East. The Mets, well, they got swept by the Pirates over the weekend. They've got another tough opponent, the Phillies, that is, in a series tonight back home at the bank. The San Diego Padres are in town. Game 1 against the Friars is at 6:35 p.m. this evening. Zach Wheeler versus Matt Waldron, the pitching matchup. Waldron making his first start of the year. Flyers made 9 selections over the weekend in the NHL draft, including winger Porter Martone and center Jack Nesbitt in the first round. Keep you updated as their offseason continues. A couple roster moves for the Sixers. Kelly Oubre picked up his player option for $8.4 million for the coming season. Eric Gordon declined his. The team also declined Lonnie Walker IV's team option. Union lost to Columbus Crew 1-0 yesterday as well. This update is brought to you by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia sports.
Touchdown! Saquon Barkley! Into the second deck, Bryce Harper! Shoots! He scores! That game beats Tom, the Magic Man! Blake outside and a beauty! Brick wall Blake!
It's in the air, and it's good. Ring the bell.
The best city.
Back home in Philly. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys.
The best fans. The best sports talk is right here. 97.5 The Fanatic.
David wanted a diamond that would blow Tessa away. After all, he was marrying someone with a keen eye for quality.
I'm a material scientist, so the quality of the diamond is very important to me.
You see, for every 100 diamonds Benari examines, they only select around 5 that are worthy and make the grade. The kind of diamond that leaves a girl speechless.
The quality of the product was there, the price was good, and I fell in love with the diamond.
Tessa was clearly overwhelmed by her Benari diamond.
When David proposed to me and showed me that ring, I was so amazed and stunned. I was speechless, and I forgot to say yes.
I was very happy that she was amazed by the diamond, but I was anxiously awaiting an answer.
Yes, 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 a million times yes.
Benari Jewelers. Diamonds so exquisite, give her a moment. She'll say yes. Benari Jewelers at Exton and Newtown Square.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. 'Cause I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call Cordell & Cordell today because your business is more than a job, it's your legacy.
Philadelphia, Radnor, Allentown, and Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Michelle Ferreri, licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Not only can you listen to The Fanatic, but you can also watch on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube channel.
Watch the live stream of Kincade and Salciunas, weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and the Mike Missanelli Show from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Go to youtube.com/97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia and subscribe today to be part of the action. This is Kincade and Salciunas, Philadelphia Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 9:24 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. No, we're not going to try to figure out who the best NFL players would be on a real soccer team.
Yeah, who would be the striker?
That's not for me. Even though Andy B does say on our YouTube chat, I can confirm that Chunas is one of the most boring people on the planet. You got that right, man. I don't run from it.
I mean, I'm okay.
Me, man.
I'm okay with being boring.
I'm me, man.
I'm also older now. It doesn't.
You know who else was okay with being boring? Nick Sirianni. He said, right. I'm okay that we're a boring offense. As long as it works, baby.
It's a champion's mindset, I like to say. I've always believed that. Boring is better.
All right, so you then said we should build the All-NFC team, like the current players.
Yeah.
And so during the break, I jotted some names down. Connor, I don't know if you were doing the exercise in the producer's studio.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit. I was reading that article about soccer.
That was the most predictable answer ever.
All right, so the offense. Right away, quarterback's hard for me. Right away, because I'm trying to think, what kind of offense am I trying to run here?
No, see, look, this is where I say don't put too much thought into it. In that sense, go with the best player, and the best player is Jalen Hurts.
I wrote down Hurts, but I also wrote down Stafford, both of them. Because Matt Stafford, believe it or not, because there's a lot of people that want to act like he's 100 years old and he stinks. He still plays at a very high level.
Yeah, he's been one of my favorite quarterbacks for a while. I think that he would be the second quarterback in this scenario.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts at 1, Stafford at 2.
I mean, the guy won Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, so of course he's number 1. Like, he can't not be number 1. But Matt Stafford is, like, he almost beat you. He did.
He did.
In the divisional round of the playoffs. Now, I do believe it's like Hurts and Stafford's not far off, and then I think there's a drop-off.
Yeah, because you and I have had many conversations. I'm not a big Jared Goff guy.
I'm not either.
I think that he's perfect for that system, but take him outside that. I also think he's limited in that system, but if you take him out of there, he's kind of the quarterback that we saw with the Rams. I'm not putting him in that conversation.
Right. Running backs. We're gonna do 2. Saquon's got to be the lead back, right? No.
Yeah, he snuck onto the team.
I don't think anyone's got a problem with that. Now
he elbowed his way onto the team.
Who's your backup?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's who I wrote down.
That's exactly who it should be.
Yes, it should be because you can use him so many different ways.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs, man.
He's one of my favorite offensive players in the league.
I don't know though. Actually, McCaffrey might have to.
Yeah, it's going to be great when my backup's leg falls off.
Yeah, he doesn't have to play all that much as the backup.
Okay.
I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs.
I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs, man.
Really, just the quintessential change of pace option from Saquon Barkley.
Now, I just wrote down Eagles' offensive line, even though right guard is a question, but I just wrote down Eagles' What did you put down for right guard?
For right guard, I guess you could make a case for Tyler Smith from the Cowboys.
Okay.
But I'm going with Tyler Steen anyway, just because I like Tyler Steen. And I think that he's acquitted himself well over his 316 snaps last year, and I think he's going to be just fine this year.
Yeah, the only one I really thought about was Penei Sewell and Lane Johnson. Like that's really the only one. But it's Lane Johnson. Yeah, but like Sewell's really, really good.
Sewell is an excellent player. Lane's been more consistent. I view Lane as the better player and a future Hall of Famer. So I'm going Lane Johnson.
By the way, JM checks in that they take Bijan over Gibbs. That's not a bad call either.
Yes. See, that's a good problem to have. I like the more explosive athlete who can catch the football. Bijan's somebody who can handle more volume. So I like if we're really getting into the weeds.
Yeah.
If Saquon were to miss time in this scenario,
then you'd go to Bijan.
Could be the bell cow.
But Gibbs showed that he could be it when Montgomery got hurt.
He's electric.
We're
going to stick with that. But Bijan garnered some consideration here.
All right, receiver. Connor, we did 3. Did you write 3 down?
Yeah, I've got 2, and then the 3 I've been trying to figure out.
All right, I'm curious to see what you wrote down.
Well, we know who 1 is.
Justin Jefferson.
Not even a doubt.
AJ.
And AJ's 2.
AJ would be 1.
Well.
AJ would be 1 for me.
Really?
I think AJ Brown's the best receiver in the NFL.
In the NFL?
In the NFL.
Period.
In the whole league. In the sport.
You're done. Wow.
I won't even entertain anything else. Look, I think that Justin Jefferson obviously he's done it at a very, very high level. I'm not taking anything away from him. AJ gives you more. He's more explosive. He's better after the catch. He can play inside or outside. He can win in those contested catch situations. And he's a freak athlete. He strikes fear into opposing corners because of that strength and power that he has. He's also very good at blocking. I think he's a complete receiver and the best in the NFL.
Wow. All right, so you're going AJ is WR1 and Justin Jefferson's 2.
He'll be 2, yeah.
All right, then who do you have at 3? I wrote down CeeDee Lamb.
That's my first thought there.
Because he can play in the slot.
Yeah, I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to put him as my 3. I like him operating out of the slot and being that traditional.
I was writing him down, then I wrote, CeeDee's. I do like CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb.
Well, CeeDee Lamb
plays with the Cowboys.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's a really good player, too. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown as that explosive slot receiver that can give you a different dimension to the offense. You can see that we've obviously put a lot of thought into
Sun God, man. He's great. And then lastly, tight end, I did George Kittle. Still.
Yeah, I think so. You could make a case for Sam Laporta.
I love Sam Laporta a lot. He had a bit of a down year last year, though. He was not as good as his rookie season. I also believe Trey McBride.
That's who I'm going with.
Trey McBride could soon overtake George Kittle. He's really good.
He's not quite a household name yet. He should be.
Yeah.
It's a crime that he's not more widely recognized, but he would be my tight end in this scenario.
No Kyle Pitts for all the fantasy lovers out there that have been taking him every year?
No, sir.
No, that's
I can't do that.
That's not happening.
You can't make this team on name.
All right, now defense is difficult, I think. I think it's harder on defense. I wrote down, so what we did, Andrew and I talked about this during the break. We're going to nickel defense.
Okay.
All right.
It's
four down linemen. We got the 2 outside corners. We got the slot corner. We got our middle linebacker. We got our safeties. All right.
Nick Bosa.
Oh, yeah.
We'll start with ends, right?
See, oh, man. I wrote Aiden Hutchinson and Jared Verse with the youth. Nick Bosa.
No Micah?
Well, I could make him a linebacker.
Well, listen, he could be on your team.
Yeah. I could make damn.
No, I can't choose, so I'm just going to yell at you guys for your picks. I'm having the same struggles back here.
Defense is hard, man.
Okay.
Dude, Aiden Hutchinson's so good.
Oh, I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, and Micah Parsons.
Wow, so you even took off Nick Bosa.
Yeah, so those are my 2 edge guys, my 2 defensive ends.
I think Jared Verse is going to be. I mean, you saw what he did as a rookie.
Yeah, I just can't go there yet.
I was a huge Jared Verse guy.
I know. Yeah, you were when you were just analyzing for the draft.
But I think based on production and longevity purposes, I go Micah Parsons, Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay. Jalen Carter has to be.
Jalen Carter's
one of the 2 defensive
set it
tackles.
And forget it. Top defensive tackle.
Who else do you have on there?
I would say Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh man, dude, the Giants got edge rushers too.
Yeah, they got a good defensive front. It's about all they got.
Defense is hard.
You could also say Vita Vea.
You could. He's a stud too.
Yeah.
Still.
But I'm going Dexter Lawrence and Jalen Carter as the 2 DTs.
Okay. Now, too early to say Zach Bond already, right? Plus, you have the Fred Warner. Fred Warner has to be the linebacker, right?
Yeah, but I think, but if you're going 2 linebackers, I think Zach Bond has proven enough in one season, an otherworldly season, to be another top linebacker on that team.
You going Zach Bond over like a Alex Anzalone?
Yeah, Zach Bond's way better than Alex Anzalone.
1 year?
Yeah, Alex Anzalone's just okay. I never really was enamored with him coming out of Florida. I think he's limited athletically. You could rack up a bunch of tackles. We've seen Alex Singleton do that.
Yeah.
But when you see the production and impact that Zach Bond's had, and I'm putting on my you're getting hard-hitting analysis here. I think
this is better. This is better than football players playing soccer. This is 1,000 times better.
It's not even close.
Oh, what about Bobby Wagner? He's only like 60 years old.
No,
he's still playing.
You can't give him the nod over.
I'm using my veto on Bobby Wagner.
So Zach Bond is already on the All-NFC team.
Yeah,
he was a Defensive Player of the Year nominee.
Yeah, I know, but it was 1 year.
Eagles just gave him $50 million over 3 years.
They did.
They invested it. They believe in it, so that's good enough for me.
All right, I put Cooper DeJean as my slot corner.
Gotta be.
Yep, Cooper DeJean it is.
Now the outside corner. Is Quinyon already?
Nah, I don't think so yet.
Can't be already.
Is
he?
Well, so I'm going Jalen Johnson. I've always been a really big Jalen Johnson guy from the Bears. Big-time player. I actually interviewed him before the draft, and I will say Quinyon Mitchell.
Wow, so Q's already.
But you can also say there's J.C. Horn, right, from the Panthers, and like I'm forgetting somebody obvious. No, you can no longer say Jair Alexander.
No, you can't. Yeah, he's gone. I liked what Seattle was building with their two
Witherspoon, Devin Witherspoon.
But he had a down year last year.
Yeah, and I
like him a lot, but.
So I'm gonna say between J.C. Horn and Quinyon Mitchell, I'm going Quinyon. So you have Quinyon and Jalen Johnson. I think that is a stellar cornerback tandem. And then Cooper DeJean playing nickel.
He's your slot corner, most important position on the defense. And then your safeties.
Reed Blankenship and who?
Brian Branch.
I have Brian Branch written down. I do not have Reed Blankenship written down.
Number one Reed Blankenship hater, Andrew Salciunas.
Yeah, I'm going Reed.
I'm not a hater. You're going Reed?
And Brian Branch.
You're putting Reed on the All-NFC defensive team.
Yeah, I mean, he's due for an extension. He's really going to be the back-end communicator on this defense. He gets better when he has rangier players that he's playing beside, and he's going to be playing beside probably Drew Makuba. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. And then you have a rangy guy like a Brian Branch playing alongside him. I love it.
Man, really? Reed Blankenship is already All-NFC.
Well, who would you put over him? Buda Baker?
That's my first thought. I'm just making sure he's still playing. Yeah, Buda Baker. That's
Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, he's a player. Yeah, there's
over
guys.
Reed Blankenship. I think I might take that one.
Yeah, I'm not putting Reed on there.
I'm putting Reed
I like
on.
Reed.
See, you're in the weeds. You know his leadership.
Yeah, I'm putting Reed on
He's in the
there
leadership council.
because I also look at it as who would my defensive captain be, and Reed Blankenship would be a
That's
defensive
true.
captain.
You need
On
somebody
the All-NFC team?
On
He'd
the
be
all-
the defensive captain?
Yeah,
Fred
I think
Warner.
so.
Fred Warner can be
Fred Warner.
defensive captain. He knows a thing or two.
Yeah, he knows a thing or two. But as terms of that back end, I think you want Reed Blankenship.
How
there.
about that?
I'm like giving this a lot of thought.
You are, and that's why I like this better than the soccer conversation. All right, coming up next, we got the key three. We'll check our text messages as well. It is Kincade and Salciunas. Andrew DeCecco in for John today, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like Groundhog Day because you keep hearing the same old tired takes? Good news. There is a solution to your afternoon drag.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. 1 4-hour dose every weekday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. will sharpen your mind, give you the knowledge you need, and add that boost of energy needed to make that drive home.
Just turn the dial. It's that easy.
Make the switch. Unfiltered. Weekdays at 2 p.m. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. For fans of all ages, if you have a sports talk radio problem, call 610-632-0975.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Rico Metallico. NASCAR returns to Dover Motor Speedway July 18th through the 20th for the General Tire 150, the Bet Rivers 200, and the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 Cup Series race Sunday, July 20th. See NASCAR's best drivers race at speeds up to 200 miles an hour. And an amazing fan zone with the world's largest rubber duck. An all-new Miles Beach featuring a boardwalk and 600 tons of sand. NASCAR Kids Zone and more. Get tickets at DoverMotorspeedway.com.
We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs.
My groceries, heating costs.
Medications. Sure, I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The real and inside story on Philly sports is here. And it's powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Wherever you are, the Kincade and Salciunas show is accessible. Did you know you can watch the show on YouTube right now?
You can listen to the show anywhere via 97.5thefanatic.com.
If you missed a show, then listen to the on-demand podcast or watch on YouTube.
And of course, we are live weekday mornings 6 to 10 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
9:41 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We have our Key 3 coming up in a few minutes. Check some text messages, but we just saw the great Ray Dunn during the commercial break. He stopped in to see Andrew and I, but not Connor. And
that's okay. I'll see him soon.
He walked in and he said, no, Reed Blankenship can't be on the All-NFC team.
And, of course, I disputed that.
And then I said he could be on the All-Garage Bar team.
That's true.
And then Ray said something that is so spot on. And you, as a frequent attender of that establishment,
love Garage,
should speak on this. That's the next mural, is the Exciting Whites.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Because they made the mistake of the daycare. They made the even bigger mistake before that of Matisse Thybulle.
That was proper. Which
is the biggest joke ever, that you would put a mural of a role player who's not good.
Yeah, I'm thunderstruck there.
Matisse Thybulle. My God.
It's a sponsorship thing.
Uh-huh. So your next sponsorship is the Exciting Whites of Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean. That's what they're going to do.
That'd be cool.
We figured this out.
I don't know, though. Is it weird? Then those guys probably shouldn't be going there, right? Would it be weird to go to a bar with a mural of you on it?
I mean, not any more weird than
I don't think
asking a bar to put something on.
I don't play it. Yeah, you know what? I'd rather go to the bar with my mural than, hey, can you please put my TV show on so I can show people.
That was grossly misrepresented, and I'll defend that as much as Andrew DeCecco is defending putting Reed Blankenship on the All-NFC team.
You better be ready for a long struggle there, buddy.
Yeah. Would it be weird? I don't think it'd be weird. It's on the outside. It's not like it's not like they're asking them to please paint it on the TV screen so that I can show it to people.
All right, stop it.
Connor. Yeah, I don't see why that would be awkward or be an issue.
Yeah, no, not at all. All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, we have a check-in from Ryan in Florida who says, Buda Baker, Antoine Winfield, Xavier McKinney. Come on, AD. Stop with the bias with Reed Blankenship.
Yeah,
you know his leadership, and that's why you said that.
Yeah, he was also instrumental in helping Quignon and Cooper DeJean with the communication back there. Look, I think that he's a solid football player that doesn't quite get the respect that he deserves across the NFL, and I think this year he's going to answer whatever questions remain about his game.
How much money is he going to get paid? Because you keep on talking about how he's up for a contract, and yes, he is.
I don't know.
Like, he's not going to be like Zach Bond is what, fourth highest paid linebacker?
I thought it was the
third or fourth. He's not a top 3 paid safety, is he?
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like, how much money is he's not breaking the bank. Reed Blankenship, I don't think
he's not going to break the bank, but they are going to, in all likelihood,
they want to
issue
keep him here.
an extension. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't get. I mean, we can clearly see he doesn't get a lot of. He's not as highly heralded as some of his peers. But I think when you look at availability last season, the impact, he takes the football away. You can't dispute that. That also factored into my decision making. I don't know. I feel pretty good about my decision. I'm not flinching on that.
I'm thinking maybe like 10 to 12 a year. How does that sound? That would put him in like the top 20 in the NFL.
Yeah, I could see like 10 mil a year.
Okay.
So the other guys that are in the range of 10 right now, Justin Reed, Harrison Smith, Amani Hooker, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That type of category.
Yes. Yeah, no, that sounds about right, Connor.
All right, cool. I'm good with that. See, now I'll put Reed on the maybe all underrated team. I can't put him on the all-NFC team. I can't.
Now,
why not?
That because there are better safeties, in my opinion. Like those 3 guys that our guy Ryan in Florida texted in. I'm probably taking those guys over Reed.
Now, what about?
I mean, they've all had lapses.
What about
in
Kirby
coverage.
Joseph?
I like Kirby Joseph too.
We could have gone just both line safeties.
Well, we need backup safeties too.
Okay. So if we're doing the 53-man roster,
like each player needs a reserve.
Like Kirby Joseph.
So we just said 2 safeties. So in reality here, we could go with, Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah. You need some
and Xavier McKinney.
Need some vets on the bench to really help out the young guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because that team's going to need to have a good locker room.
Tell them what you're seeing out there.
What else we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, we still have people checking in on this LeBron conversation that we had earlier. And Maria from Doylestown checks in, says, even though LeBron's not what he was 6 or 7 years ago, it would still do a lot for me to see him on the Sixers. I'd love to see one of the great players in basketball history on this team.
I just think it would be cool. Like, again, so today's topic that we started the show off with was how do you balance enjoyment and entertainment with expectations, right? Do you know how much enjoyment I would get with LeBron James on this team?
I think a lot of people would. And they don't really realize it until that actually happens.
A Tuesday night in January. All right, Eagles win the Super Bowl. Let's go a Tuesday in March. Like, there's nothing going on. You mean to tell me you wouldn't want to watch LeBron James play for a Sixers uniform?
Dude, perfect example right here. So I know we don't like to talk about basketball in the Olympics in this town because of the Joel Embiid thing. Steph Curry's game used to bother the hell out of me. He would piss me off so much with just the way he plays the game. Not because like he's bad at it or it's cheap or anything. It's just like I hate watching him play for the Warriors. But, dude, watching him for Team USA just kill the entire country of France on their soil, it's just like, oh, right. This is why it's so cool to root for a guy like that. Even people who don't like LeBron, then you get a taste of what it's like to be like, oh, he's doing it for us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you realize, oh, yeah, that's why he's this great, all-time great NBA player.
Yeah, like I think that would be cool. And like, do I think they win a championship? Chances go up. I would say the chances go up.
Yeah, they don't go down.
But again, if we're talking about sports, if one of the messages of today's show was like just enjoying sports, like that, I would enjoy that.
Right. I mean, in the dead of winter, you could go down to whatever they're calling that. They're going to call it not Wells Fargo Center
isn't
anymore.
Isn't it just like the Comcast?
Xfinity Mobile Arena?
Yeah, thank you.
XMA, and go to and see
LeBron play for your team,
an all-world, all-time player. And that should conjure some excitement, I would think.
Yeah, I would think so. Now, I know that a lot of people don't like LeBron James for political reasons, right? Like, I know it's not just about basketball.
We don't know how, we haven't heard about his book club. We don't know how that book's
that first page, we don't know how it's doing. But, like, I would be extremely entertained if LeBron James played for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I can keep it at that.
You remember the Saquon thing where we talked about this? And I understand, Saquon, you're getting a running back that still is a very, very talented player that can impact the team, help them win the Super Bowl. But there was this whole conversation about, like, paying a running back like that, and is it the right thing to do for this team and how they're built? And my reaction was always kind of like, yeah, but Saquon's sick.
Yeah, but this is cool. Right, exactly.
Whether it works out or not, it's dope. Would be buying a Lamborghini, would that be a smart investment?
Probably not.
But is it cool as hell?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, when I was on the air when it was reported that it was down to the Sixers and Texans, Eagles and Texans for Saquon. And I remember saying on the air, I would not pay a running back that much money. But, man, would that be fun. And then when the news broke that they signed him, I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's have a good time, man. Because that's what it ultimately was all about. It just helps that they also won the Super Bowl. All right, it's time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3, today's best.
I believe that there are some people, not everybody, that there are some people that enjoy sports less when you have high expectations for your team. To me, I'm happy when I have high expectations. That means my team's good. I am happy that the Phillies, we have conversations about NLCS or bust. I'm happy that we get to talk about the Eagles and it's Super Bowl or bust, or NFC Championship game or bust. I love when I get to look at a Sixers roster and when healthy, they can be a good basketball team, but that doesn't necessarily happen. But I like to have those conversations because that means I have something to look forward to. That means something I can watch, and I can see how every game may mean something down the road. I love the Phillies. I love watching baseball. I hate watching bad baseball, and I get that a lot with this baseball team. But they took 2 of 3 against the Braves this weekend. Ranger Suarez, again, yesterday, just continues to dazzle. 7 innings, just 4 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, allowed just 1 earned run. And then the Phillies eventually take the lead in the top of the 5th inning. Otto Kemp had the big double. Trey Turner knocks him in. So the Phils win 2-1. They take 2 of 3 against the Braves. That's a good series. I know the Braves record-wise are 7 games under 500 now, right? They're 38-45. I understand record-wise it's not all that great, but Spencer Strider's been pitching a lot better as of late, and you beat him again.
If there's one thing that I've learned about this Phillies team, is that they are a resilient bunch.
Yeah.
And there's going to be the peaks and valleys. That's the nature of this lineup. Mm-hmm. You saw the offensive onslaught on Friday night. Then you saw it take a dip. And we all knew that was coming on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest takeaway over the past week is that they have a tendency to waste really good starting pitching. And to avoid the same ending that we've seen, they have to get more of a collective effort at the plate. And we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But how about Ranger Suarez?
Jeez.
A 1.9 ERA over his last 10 games. He's won 7 or more innings over his last 5 starts.
10 straight quality starts now?
Yes, it is.
I don't think LeBron James is coming here unless LeBron James sees the situation here in Philadelphia and thinks this is the best place for me to go to try to win. If not, a return to Cleveland, maybe.
Yeah, if he's trying to win, I can't imagine that's going to be here.
Yeah, I don't think so, unless he thinks, all right, with Maxey and McCain and other young guys, even if Embiid gets hurt, I'm still LeBron James. And let's face it, he's still playing at a very high level. So I have this question, because LeBron James, if he were to come here, and that's a major if, and I don't think it's happening, to the point where I'm not even going to do a show off of it. But I will ask this question off of this conversation. If you were able to say, that guy played for my team, does that do anything for you? How do you balance your enjoyment and entertainment when it comes to watching sports with the expectations that you have for teams? There's the Kincade Salciunas Key 3, but no John Kincade. Andrew Pacheco in for John Kincade. Any text messages from John today?
I got nothing.
Neither did I.
I hope he's enjoying his day.
He is. He sent Connor and I a photo from where he's staying. It looked beautiful, so I'm hoping they're having an absolute blast. All right, Andrew, tell us about the deal of the week here, my man.
Well, check out the Fanatic deal of the week. Get 2 single-day wristbands for the price of 1 for the Funplex in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. You'll enjoy unlimited access to indoor and outdoor rides, the Splashplex Water Park, 1 hour of bowling, and a $5 arcade card. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals.
I'm telling you, I would like to attend the Funplex and just beat Connor in every event.
Dude, that's my home turf. All right? That's right down the street from where I grew up. No shot you're beating me at the Funplex.
Not in front of all your fans.
I know that mini golf course they have there, like the back of my hand. Yeah.
You got to do the one in the city still. Tell you, the one by...
I'll look into it.
The one by Ben Franklin's lightning bolt and key.
I'm a busy guy. I'm still trying to figure out who's playing keeper for the football team. All right? So I got more important matters going on.
By the way, you seem like you were definitely a Hector Neris guy, weren't you?
I mean, I didn't feel strongly one way or another. I thought it was all right.
He was a big Brandon Duckworth guy, too, I can tell.
I was not a Hector Neris fan by that much. The Angels released him, so he's now going to look for his third team in 2025, his fifth team in the last 2 seasons.
Solid career. I don't need him on this team.
Yeah, he had a career. Go ahead, tell us about life-saving cancer research.
All right, remember to support life-saving cancer research. Join me and our generous partners, FT Young Heating and Air Conditioning, in making a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research today at 975thefanatic.com/AACR. Cancer research saves lives.
Swing looks good, Mikey. Swing looks good. He's behind you.
Baseball swing or golf swing?
Baseball swing, yeah.
Love
swing
that.
looks good. All right, Mike Missanelli Show comes your way next. Andrew, thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate it. You'll be back on Friday with Connor, but what else are you doing this week?
Unfiltered, Tuesday from 4 to 6 with Bill and Ricky and Silvana, and then also Friday, 2 to 6 with Bill, Ricky, and Silvana for Unfiltered.
All right, awesome. Well, we'll be listening. We'll be back at it tomorrow here on...
Or no, not Friday. Not Friday.
No, not Friday. No, you're that's July 4th. You're working with Connor. All right, Mike Missanelli Show comes your way next right here.